No other plans.
We are live.
No questions from you?
What's that?
No questions from you?
No.
Okay.
No. I've seen the show before.
Oh, okay.
I'm
okay.
Familiar with what we do here?
Yeah,
Cool.
familiar enough.
Familiar enough. I love it.
You're actually live now.
Yes, we are. So live. So totally live. And then we have sodas and stuff in there too, or we have like some others through.
Okay.
If you want something else. It sounds like pee. I love it. I was looking away. I was like, that's awesome. Excuse us.
Yeah.
You can't see
Let me just
us.
take care of this real quick.
Yeah, let me just. There we go. All right. I'm feeling better now. And I made a mess. Of course I did.
It sounds pretty hot.
Yeah? Is it too hot?
Talking to me.
Hey.
Probably alright.
Okay.
You just like back. Let's go that backward.
I don't know.
Take your headphones off.
I don't know.
Is that high pitched stuff?
Yeah.
It might be because it's feedback.
Yeah,
See
you're.
that? Okay. Yeah,
That's probably what it is.
What it is for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. We got 7.
Okay. Well, we might as well just jump right in there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get this party started?
Let's get it started.
In 3, and I don't have my glasses. 3 and 2 and 1. There we are.
There we are. Here we are. How's everybody doing?
And there is Randall Shreve.
Hey.
What's up, Randall Shreve?
All right.
Here we are, episode number 97 on this day, August the 11th. Be with you. Welcome to the Unsung Screamers podcast.
Randall Shreve is here.
Shreve?
I made a mistake. I'm just like all giddy.
I wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Randall Shreve, which is going to be a super fun time. I'm looking forward to this one quite a bit. How was your drive?
It was good. I'm used to this drive. This is like an autopilot drive.
Yeah,
I do this one a lot.
Decent highways nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is. I come up through Joplin and
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it just seems I live in Bentonville now. So
Okay.
it's a short 2 hours now.
Short 2
Yeah,
hours.
that's not
Yeah.
too bad.
No.
Used to be 3.5 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and when I lived in Fayetteville, that's always what 3.5 is what I planned in case of like Northwest Arkansas traffic.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
That-
How long have you been in Arkansas?
I moved there in 09.
09?
Yeah.
Are you? Go ahead.
Sorry, I grew up in South Arkansas. It's just 2 different seasons in life. I lived in Arkansas. I moved from Arkansas when we first met.
Okay.
And didn't live there again until 09.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you here?
No, I never lived here.
Okay.
But I started visiting a lot after I moved to Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
This became a regular stop. No, I was in this order. I was in Nashville, Indianapolis area, Bloomington,
Okay.
Orlando, New York City.
Oh, damn.
And then back to Arkansas.
Mm.
Wow.
About 2 years, 3 years at each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned a second ago when we first met. I think this is am I sounding all right there?
You're sounding all right. Jared just said a second ago that your voice was clipping a little bit. It was too hot.
Oh,
So
it
I
was
brought
too
the
hot. Okay.
whole thing down, and then I brought you down a little bit. And
Okay.
Jared says it sounds great.
All right, good.
You might be hearing that in your headphones because I don't hear any clipping.
No, it's fine now.
Okay,
But
cool.
it's quieter than when we started.
Yes. Would you like your headphone up?
Just a titch,
Right there. And this is you, by the way, number 3.
Okay.
which is just overall volume, not your own,
Yep.
if that makes sense.
All right, back at it. That's a lot of cities.
Yeah, it is. It is because you musically, this is you, right? I mean, you're not like an architect and you just do music on the side.
Yeah. No, I went all in. From the beginning, and have been telling my family since I was 9 that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
And they tried to talk me out of it about my
Of
sophomore
course.
year. Like my dad came to me and was just like, "Hey, I kind of have to do this. I know that you're set on this, but I have to like sit down. I'm going to try to talk you out of this." Literally, like that's the way he approached it.
I have to do this.
Yeah,
I love
and he
it.
finished, and I was just like, no, I'm gonna do it.
Still gonna do it.
It's what I love. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was a good safety net for him because if for some reason it didn't work out, he could come back and be like, I tried.
Well, and he didn't want to be unsupportive. He didn't want to he didn't want to, I knew what was going on at the time. Like he didn't want to come across like somebody that didn't believe in me or anything, being the person who has to believe in me the most.
Right.
But he did want to make sure that I knew what I was getting into.
Yes.
And I didn't, but
that's right. But that's still actually really cool.
Yeah.
Did he do music at all? I mean, did he have some perspective?
He's a
on
musician,
that?
yeah, but he never like took the plunge as far as like this is what he's going to count on. This is what this is life.
Right.
He's always loved it, and he's the one who gave me my first guitar, which was his guitar. And,
Nice.
And was always real supportive of us being, me and my brother being creative types and pursuing that. He was very supportive. But he never. Mom was a musician as well. But they didn't like consider it an option.
Yeah, just hobby.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah, play in church. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
But you got some talent in your blood then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I do. I have. I grew up. There were 4 of us.
Oh wow.
And then later after I left home, we added 3 stepbrothers. So,
okay.
Large family.
Yeah. Cool.
How many of them are musical?
Well, I think they're all musical.
Yeah.
Like my older brother, I don't think he would admit that he's musical because he doesn't want to be.
Right.
It's the strangest thing to me, but
Very.
I think that he kind of looks down on it in some way or something like that. It's hard to figure out.
Right.
And then my sister is definitely musical and just kind of is more like my parents. I think just doesn't consider it a viable option.
Right.
For like a lifestyle.
Right.
Nice.
But my younger brother, who's the closest to me in age, he's a musician.
Yeah. Cool. You guys actually did things together for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We had our first band out of high school was with him.
That's cool.
Well, we had just briefly touched on that when we first met, which I think is a funny story.
It's funny.
Seeing where everything is now, but we did actually meet quite a while ago, probably 95. When was that?
That was 96.
96, yeah. And it was Tom Hembry that actually brought it to my attention because I still had no idea. And I had known of Randall for quite a while at that time. But
okay, you didn't realize that you didn't.
I didn't recognize you or anything like that. I mean, it had been 25 years.
Yeah.
And I never put the 2 and 2 together. I don't know that we ever really knew each other very well when we were together on that tour. So Tom actually came to me and was like, "You realize you were on tour with Randall Shreve one time?" And I was like,
"What?
No, I never toured with Randall Shreve." He's like, "Well, he wasn't Randall Shreve." I mean, he was, but you know what I'm saying. He was on tour with Petra working as like their drum tech or something.
That's it. Yeah.
And I was
so
like,
cool.
"Are you serious? Like the Saltbox tour?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's what it's called." I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy."
Yeah.
And then we because that tour was, I don't know, a few months, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, it went on. I stayed on with him after it. I think that it was like 40 dates over the course of a couple months.
They were pretty spread out. Some of them were like a week off.
Yeah.
At least for us it was.
Yeah.
Petra might have played in between. But so, then I was like, well, hell, we got to go hang out. So we went and saw you over that Bears place. I don't know if you even had a name.
And that was even like whenever you came up after that show, I didn't put it together. I didn't recognize you until you said something.
Yeah.
And then I immediately recognized.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing how the disconnect is.
It is so wild. Yeah. So when Johnny Keep Up was on tour with Petra, Randall Shreve was on that tour, and we were together a couple months.
Yeah. You might have eaten side by side at catering.
We might have.
Oh, we did for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I was a big fan of the first album. Well, both albums, but at that time the first one was what was out. And when I found out I was on that tour, I didn't know who else was on it except Petra, and I was, they were like at the time that was like that was my number one band in the world, and so I got that tour, and it was just like a dream. And then I found out that you guys were on it, and I knew, of course, I knew Whiteheart.
Right.
I didn't know Grandma Train at the time. It ended up being a band that I really liked too.
Yeah.
But when I found out you guys were on it, I told my brother, and it was just like it really was like this surreal, impossible reality that I was now living in. Because after high school, I graduated a year early from high school, and I went straight into this terrible factory job that was like all through high school was like you just want to avoid that being what you do after high school. And so I graduated early and went straight to that, and it just felt like I had just fucked up really bad.
Yeah.
Like this is nothing's, already,
It's all going wrong.
Already you have ruined your
started.
life.
Just started, and I'm wrong.
I was 16 and I'm working this factory job that nobody wanted to be working, and I worked there exactly 6 months to the day when I found out I got that tour, and telling my brother that like we listen to you guys every single day. We listen to we listen to that album every day, and that was one of the albums that we just bonded over. We went from, it was like in our crossover from childhood to, it was one of those things that brought us together. Music did, but that album specifically brought us kind of like to a place of like adulthood, kind of where we're 16, 17,
right?
But we were kind of like coming into our own at the time that we found that, and so it was really special. And then I told him, "Guess who's on this tour?" So it was a very big deal.
That's
a very
wild.
big deal. Yeah,
That's wild.
I love it.
That's so cool.
So I have two questions.
Okay.
But before I get to the two questions, I want to just say hi to people. We got Julia's watching. Julia says, "Wow, what's up? I'm running around like crazy. We're getting work wrapped up, so I am so ready for the show on Saturday. Oh, have I mentioned that my show on Saturday, Bender at Waxy's? So she's promoting her show on our show.
All right.
Whatever she can.
It's Julia Spam.
So she's in a band called
Don't
Bender.
just make that up. Wow,
I mean, yes, of course we did.
Yes.
We totally did.
that's smooth.
She's in
we
a-
do it to anyone that comes and promotes their shows on
And
our show.
she's knows that. That's why she's doing that. But she is in a band called Bender, and she's playing at Waxy's on Saturday.
Oh,
so Waxy's
cool.
down in Branson. So, and she's an avid watcher of our show and a big fan.
It's kind of a reunion show, actually.
Yeah, it's their first one out for a long time since they took a hiatus of about 5 years. Jared was on here helping us out with the sound, and Brian Betancourt says, "Hi, what up? What up? What up?" So I just wanted to pop in and say hi to everybody that's watching, and please feel free to comment and ask questions if you have some questions for Randall or us or whatever.
Yeah, please get involved in
Yes.
this one with Randall. He's got some stories. I know he does.
We know he's an interesting dude.
Well, he's been doing it since he was 16, so you can imagine.
That's true. Very true. Actually, before that, I'm sure you were a musician before 16, right?
I was.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I had
Yeah.
high school to
But
contend with.
full on, yeah, you had high school to contend
But
with. I love
he
that.
escaped the factory at
Escaped
16.
the factory
I
at
sure
16.
did.
That's crazy. That's crazy early from high school too.
Yeah.
That's-
I think I was young for my grade anyhow.
Gotcha.
But it was.
Oh, right.
It was the town had 410 people in it, which now I go back there and I absolutely love it, and I love the people,
Yeah.
and I love what made me me.
Yeah.
It's but at the time I wanted to get the hell out of there.
And what
Right,
town was
right.
this again?
Hatfield, Arkansas.
Hatfield, Arkansas. What a
Yeah.
great name for
Yeah.
a country place.
Yeah.
I love it. Hatfield, Arkansas, 410 people. So my two questions.
Yeah.
My first one is not really a question. I want to talk about seeing him at Bear's Place
Sure.
and the request that you made.
Sure.
So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not a question. But the other question is, how in the hell did you get the drum tech job?
Oh, let's see.
Like, how did that come
So
about?
I always wanted that job. I wanted that job since I was really young. Actually, I wanted Louis' job. I wanted it, but
Right, well,
I
yeah.
knew how it worked. I knew that Jim Cooper got the job when John Lowry left, and he was the keyboard tech before that. I knew that David Lichens got the job whenever Bob Hartman left, and so in most cases it seemed like the tech was the first one up.
Nice.
And so it just seemed like that was the step that I needed to take. And so I reached out for the job through people who were, indirectly connected to Petra. I started reaching out and trying to get the job, and the budget for the tour didn't allow for a drum tech. but then they realized how little I was willing to take. And they were just like, oh, well, sure, we can pay that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because I guess Louis hadn't had a drum tech in other than Jeff, what was his, I've gone blank, but the monitor, the guy that ran monitors on that tour, I'll think of his name in a minute. He was Louis's drum tech. He doubled as Louis's drum tech.
Okay.
And he was like Louis's best friend as well. So
Right.
he was the one who had been doing that for years. And then they just made room in their budget for my little tiny, amount of living money.
Now, you weren't in Nashville, though. You were still in Hatfield?
I was, I was still living.
So you just knew some people.
I was basically, let's see, I still resided in Hatfield. I but when that tour started, I started living out of Nashville just because they would get me a hotel room, at every stop.
But the connection to even know who to talk to, you already had some friends that knew some people.
Yeah, I had. It was through. So there was one of the people who worked with a guy named Josh McDowell.
Okay.
Knew the administration.
I got you.
That Petra had.
Do you remember when Louis actually didn't make it to the show?
Yes, I remember that very well. That was my birthday.
Was it? I think we talked about this last time we hung out.
It was the best and worst birthday ever. The best because I didn't really want that job, as I now know.
Oh.
I didn't know this at the time,
right?
And so it was the worst because I basically got my audition that day.
Right.
He was stuck in Ohio for weather.
Yeah.
Or no, we were in Ohio. I think
we were. Yeah. And he went home for a family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a baby.
Yeah,
he had a real young baby at the time, and yes, I remember that very well.
His plane didn't make it. Oh my gosh, that was wild.
Yeah.
So,
Scott Moore, production manager, ended up playing on.
I was going to ask who played.
Scott.
Yeah.
Not the drum tech.
So what happened was, his name is on the tip of my tongue, but this is Jeff that I mentioned before, the monitor guy.
Right.
Louis' best friend. He always hated me at this. I didn't know why. He had.
Well, Scott hated me.
Scott. Oh yeah, he did.
He did. Oh yeah, he did.
Scott was on my bus.
Right.
He
didn't like me at all.
But he was just this extreme type A personality that didn't like anybody that wasn't conforming to exactly how the night was to go.
And that's not Johnny Q. Public.
No.
None of them.
We were not good for Scott.
He didn't. It seemed like Scott didn't like me early on. Scott ended up bringing me back on to the next tour. Mm-hmm. A different tour that he was production. I think he just knew how inexpensive I was.
Right. But this guy's cheap.
Yeah, but we ended up kind of bonding, and I don't know. I think he saw that I was just young and was developing all of my my inline personality with Scott Moore.
Right.
But anyhow, Jeff Gallup, that's his name.
Yay.
That's the monitor guy.
You said you would remember.
So he at that point I had never been treated. I turned 17 that night. I think it was. Yeah, I turned 17 that night. And up to that point, I had never been treated so aggressively, poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jeff Gallup, he just by default, he was out to get me, and I didn't understand. I didn't know what was going on,
right?
And can only speculate to this day. But when I found out that Louis' plane wasn't, there was no way he was going to make it.
Yeah.
John Schlitt, the singer for Petra, came to me and said, we're going to do sound check. You want to sit in on sound check with us? And I knew Louis wasn't going to make it. I knew that there was no way that he was going to make it. So I also knew that John was just kind of being casual about it, no big deal if this doesn't work out.
Yeah, we're fine.
Just get us some drum tones. And And so I was incredibly nervous, because at this point it felt like the day I had been preparing for since I was 9, since I was literally 9.
Right.
And I knew everything about this show. I knew every part that Louis played. I sat underneath him every night, and I had in ear monitors, and I listened through. I knew how the show ran, and I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
They started playback on what was the toughest song, but I knew I had it, and I knew that it was no problem, and I was super excited. I couldn't wait to call home and tell my brother, like, I'm playing tonight,
Right.
And Jeff Gallup, I kept telling him, like, I need click, and he had it just like faintly in there, and they ran everything to a click,
right?
And there were tracks too, so you had to be on it. Mm-hmm. And I kept telling him, I need more, and he, told me, just go, like, we got it, we're at a rush.
Sabotage,
like,
allegedly.
He absolutely sabotaged.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was terrible. But again, one of the best days of my life, because it pretty much ended it for me. Like it made me face like a lot of truths,
Right.
Like this, it made me face the idea of what if this isn't it? Because I felt like I had just blown it. I felt like I had just blown the audition. Like this is
over.
Yeah,
I'm done. And
if it had been something that I, continued to want, I would have gotten it. I would have continued to pursue it, and I would have gotten it. But it stopped being something I want. Like it, and I think that was just like the evolution that started that night.
Right.
It was not like I failed, I'm going home.
Right.
It was a real gradual disconnect for me. Like I started coming into, what are the other realities? Like what are the other possibilities? And I think it was just like there was talk one time of Newsboys of all people, auditioning drummers, and that's the first time I realized I don't have to sit here and like wait for this job to come open,
Right.
And I think that was just another step. I'd never auditioned for Newsboys, but it was like that was another moment where it started like breaking me free from this idea that I had from early childhood that's going to be me.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. I was just so focused and so driven toward that specific position that there was no way of disconnecting my brain from it, especially a brain that's not fully developed.
Yeah, you're 17.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right.
That's crazy to think. Yeah, I can see that. I was not in that position at 17, but I can see how at 17 you'd be like, the world is over.
Yeah.
Like my world is done. I'm just going to go back to the factory.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, it was never that bad.
Good. I'm glad.
It was never, I'm going to go back.
Still ain't going back.
No, we're not going back to the damn factory.
I'll play for Newsboys before I do that.
I want to butt in with a comment real quick. Lori Bittinger.
Oh, I know Lori.
Randall is the most polite professional person, one of the greatest entertainers I have had the privilege to meet. Much love, Randall.
Oh, Lori lies for me all the time.
Oh, sweet. We got
Lori.
We got a couple of questions about the Freddie Mercury tribute coming in too. So maybe we should address that. Like,
I think
get into some of your other cool looping
because
stuff.
Sometimes people drop out later. So let's towards the beginning, and we'll also bring it up again throughout the show. But tomorrow night.
Yep.
At the Riff.
Tomorrow night, you are actually performing at the Riff. Tell us about that show.
Well, it's something we started doing back in 2018, and then of course with the pandemic, took a little break. But we've done a number of these shows where it's Freddie Mercury tribute. So it's the music of Queen, and this will be the last one we do in Springfield. We've done it at the Riff 2-3 other times, and this will be it. This will be the final one.
It says final show, so that was my question actually. What I was going to get to. What does that mean?
Yeah, we're doing one last run in each of the locations that were very successful, and that we feel that there's an audience that wants to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tomorrow night we're doing it one last time.
Like 8 o'clock? Is that doors or the show?
Yeah,
it says 8 o'clock on the event, but I didn't know if that was doors. Or
no, I think that's start time.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure that's
doors.
start time.
I assume would probably be 7 then.
Yeah,
cool. And it's like $20, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, totally worth it. Totally worth it.
I believe it's worth it.
Yeah.
It is a good show.
We've seen some videos. We haven't been able to make it. I run karaoke on Friday and Saturday night now, so I can't break away from that without.
I can.
You can go.
Oh, come
you
on.
should.
So I might have to go do that.
Absolutely. But it's $20 probably at the door or ahead of time or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just pay the money. Go see them.
Yeah, you can get tickets in advance.
Okay.
Through their they've got a link on their site. But it's $20 at the door.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. And
it's an incredible show. And the fact that it's actually going to be the last one.
Yeah. Get your butts there.
I'm telling you, people, you need to do your best to get there.
Get your butts there tomorrow night. And we have a couple of questions regarding that. So Julia is chiming in and she says, what's your favorite Freddie Mercury outfit that you wear during the tribute?
Okay, so when they called me and asked me to do this, because this is a group out of Little Rock that approached me about doing this.
Okay.
And I was super flattered to even be considered for doing this show, but I said I'll do it. I'm not playing an instrument, and I'm not wearing the spandex. Like those are my only rules. I got to focus completely on like the huge
the task of covering his vocals.
Yeah.
For sure.
Can't focus on anything else, and I'm not wearing that.
Right?
Oh, and I'm not doing the accent. That was the other.
Right.
That was the other thing. So, the first couple I had like a costume change in the middle of it because of other things that were because of like guests that were coming on and everything. Since then, it's just been. There's just one outfit that I wear.
Just one.
It's the closest to a legitimate like something Freddie would wear. It's basically my interpretation of an outfit that Freddie did wear.
So like yellow jacket or something.
No, I don't. I feel like that one's like too iconic to touch.
Okay, fair.
So no, it's like it's a version of the full leather one. That he did.
Okay. With the hat.
Basically Mr. Slave.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay, another question. Jared, who was just here, you just met him. As a mega fan, at least I'm assuming you are, what is your favorite Freddie Queen live performance? Thoughts on Adam?
My favorite Queen live performance is Live from Montreal, by far. Mm-hmm. That's the one that that's the primary live one that I used to get myself, ready for what it meant to do this show. And Adam, I think that it's an amazing opportunity for him. I think that it's I think that would be incredible to have that opportunity.
And he's a damn good singer.
Yeah. Oh, he is. Yeah. He's a great singer.
So good on him for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the things I like about Adam is he's not trying to be Freddie.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Arnell and Journey, the guy that replaced this now second new lead singer.
He sounds like him.
He sounds like him, but on their original music, have you heard their new album?
No, huh?
Oh, go listen to Journey's new album. It sounds still very Steve Perry-ish, but you can tell it's Arnell being Arnell.
Ah, okay.
He
definitely doesn't perform like him.
No,
I mean Arnell is his own. He's his own thing.
Yeah. He's not doing the Steve. He's not doing a tribute.
Yeah.
He's just the new lead singer.
He's just Arnell, and I mean he'll run all over the stage.
Yeah.
And I never got to see Steve Perry live, but I'm pretty sure Arnell is not performing like Steve Perry used to.
I don't think so.
Like in a good way, like in his own way. He's just like, I'm Arnell. I might sound like him, but I do my own thing.
Right.
But he's incredible. Cool. But the new album is fantastic.
Oh, I
would
bet.
Go check that out real quick.
Yeah, I will.
I will say, one time in St. Louis, Tara and I went to St. Louis, and we went out kind of hitting some places with my brother, partying one night. We went to this place called Double D's, and no, it's not a strip club.
It's not a strip club. Sounds like it is.
In fact, there was no nudity involved. Nudity? There was no nudity involved. It was just a little kind of neighborhood hole in the wall bar, but they had karaoke. So I thought to myself, I'm going to do another One Bites the Dust because that's easy. Like, this is what I'm thinking.
This is what he was thinking when he was
putting and another one gone, and another one gone. This is easy. It's no big deal, you know. So I went ahead.
But what's the first word to Another One Bites the Dust?
I don't know.
I didn't know this until I started doing this. Steve. Steve is the first word to that song.
Really?
That's when I realized I am completely in over my head. I didn't even know that Steve was the first word to this song.
Oh, that word? Because he's like, Steve.
Well, no, he says Steve walks warily down the street.
Steve walks warily down the street.
With a brim pulled way down low. Yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, I didn't know that
You're
sentence
right.
existed.
He's
and
talking about Steve.
I've been listening to this song, since like
Holy shit.
high school.
Yeah, that line's one I've always just been like, I don't even know what it's saying at all.
Finish your story about this.
So I'm just like, well, another one bites the dust. I think somebody might have been saying, try, sing a Queen song or something. I was like, well, I'll do another one bites the dust because that's easy.
Right.
And so I barely make it through the first verse. It's so wild how like the range of it. I guess what I was kind of assuming would be easy about is that the range kind of stays pretty mid tone. It's never one of those like crazy like Bohemian Rhapsody or something. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And by the time I got to the end of the first verse, I realized like I have made a bad choice here.
Yeah.
Because all those little inflections that and all that kind of crazy stuff he does, by the time I actually got to the very first chorus, and all you got to do is another one bites the dust, right? Another one bites the dust. Ha ha. It sounds easy. Dude, it was the hardest. In fact, I walked off. Like after I got through that first chorus, I was just like, I can't.
You look at the DJ.
I'm not going to do this.
I'm out.
And I literally the track just played out. It was an automatic karaoke.
Yeah.
They had this computer
that's right.
that
It
did
was
it.
like a little kiosk.
So there was no DJ there to stop the song. I just walked off. I was like, I'm not only am I embarrassed at how bad that was, but I had no idea it was that hard. I mean, the way he did his "Let You Never Go," and he did all this, all that crazy stuff. I was like, this is not easy to sing.
No.
And that's probably legitimately considered one of the easy songs.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like it
Of
when you hear
his,
it. Yeah.
Well, I remember. So as soon as I got off the phone, after I said, "Yeah, I'll do it," it was like 3 months away when I hung up the phone and I sit there and thought about it, and like for the first minute, maybe I was just like, "Wow, somebody thinks I can do that."
Right.
And then after that, I was just like, "What have I done? I can't do that. Nobody can do that."
Yes, yes.
And so, having committed, I put everything aside. Like as far as like I'm not practicing the live show right now. I'm not working on the album right now. I'm not doing anything. I'm just getting myself prepared for this one show. At this point, we thought we're just doing one. And I did. I put it. Sometimes I would put in 8 hours of figuring out. Okay, how do I? One, I got to learn all these lyrics that I thought I knew.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And then
Didn't know it said Steve.
Right.
I didn't know Steve was in there.
Literally first word in. First word in. This is the first
Steve.
song that we were doing at that time. This was the first one out, and so I pull up the lyrics. I'm like, Steve, what?
There's no. I must have the
listening to
wrong
it.
song.
Oh, it does say Steve.
I was like depressed and anxious as hell. I was so about a month into it. Like I have worked religiously on it, and I'm a very driven person. I'm gonna get it.
Right.
I'm about a month in, knowing that I only have 2 months left. I start trying to figure out. Am I gonna like get hit by a car? Like, am I gonna tell them no? I'm terribly ill.
Right.
Am I gonna like? Am I gonna spring it on them? Like, am I gonna,
Breaking your own ankle with a hammer.
I was trying to figure out like, how am I gonna get out of this?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Kept working on it, and then finally got to a point where it was just like, all right, it's gonna be do or die, but I'm going, And then I just remember in taking 5 minutes in the dressing room, like asking everybody to leave before the first one, and sitting there and breathing and just telling myself, you got to go all in. You got to go all in. You've got to, everything that you know about Freddie Mercury you can't be you out there. You can't hold back, And so that's what, that's what the response from the first one, where I was truly ready to for this to be the most ridicule I had ever gotten. And when I walked out there, I see the judgment. I see these two up here.
Right.
They're doing what I would do. They're like, you can't do this.
Right.
But But like once that show was over, I wasn't certain. I knew that it didn't go as bad as I thought it could go.
Right.
But then when I started watching the social media, when I started seeing the response from it, and just seeing it like more objectively, seeing people's videos of it, that's when I realized that that work paid off.
Yeah.
I'm not Freddie. There's not going to be another Freddie, but it made me a much better singer.
Nice.
It made me so much better at my job, at being just at knowing how to get close to that. That's one of the best things I've ever done for my career.
Did you have any coaching? Did you have any vocal coaching, or you just do this yourself?
No.
Wow, that's cool.
Just went in myself and just kind of like, and I was so focused on it that I started exercising. I started dieting. I started doing things to decrease inflammation, in my throat, and like just trying to figure out when I feel good about my voice, what has just occurred, and then realizing, okay, my heart rate's up. So that was one big thing. I started making sure that like before I start Freddie, get my heart rate up.
Yeah.
So we had stairs in our rehearsal space, and I would run them before I'd start rehearsal.
Nice.
And once the heart rate was up, once that some of that energy is being expelled, that started making it kind of like settle a little bit.
You know what that's also doing? It's bringing blood to your vocal cords.
Sure. Yeah.
So when your heart rate's going up, the blood is going there and it's feeding them, and they're ready. They're warmed up.
That makes
so
sense.
a lot of people talk about, what's your warm up routine? I'm a vocal coach. I've been a vocal teacher for a while, but a lot of people, what's your warm up routine? And my biggest warm up routine is like singing. First of all, just sing, but actually doing a little bit of exercise, getting your heart rate up, because it's bringing blood and nutrition to your vocal cords and warming them up in a different way. So that's really, really smart of you to do that. But you found out just organically.
Yeah.
You totally found out organically.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I found out because I was there so much.
Yeah.
I was in that space so much. I would go and get into the, like, I've got to get Freddie ready, Got
you Freddie ready. Sorry, don't disturb me. I've got to get Freddie ready.
Yeah.
I love it. That's so cool.
So is this operation still going to do these shows, just not in these certain cities, or is it literally the whole thing is done?
No, the whole thing will be done September 23rd. It looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so what I've said is, if somebody comes along and offers money that I can't turn down,
right?
But that price goes up the more it takes me away from I've got an album coming out,
right.
So the more it takes me away from stuff like that, the more it's going to cost to continue doing it.
Has to, yeah.
So it's just one of those things that I don't want it to be part of my obituary.
Right.
That's the big thing. I have loved it. It's been so good for me. It's been one of the biggest growing experiences I've ever had as a musician, period. But it's Freddie. It's not me. That's
right.
not, that's
It
like,
ran its course. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can be grateful for what Freddie has taught me, and then move on, unless somebody offers me a whole bunch of money, and then we do it.
Then we'll think. We'll talk about it.
again.
But one of the things I'm so bummed that I haven't seen it, and I'm so bummed that I want you to go tomorrow night. So when I'm karaokeing, I want you to go. But from the videos that I've seen, you not only sing the parts well, but you're trying to be the persona.
Yeah.
And a lot of tribute bands don't necessarily do that. They may dress, whatever, and that's cool. That's their thing. But you're really trying to get his moves, the half mic stand and things like that. And it's really fun to watch those videos and really see that this is a true tribute.
Yeah.
It's not just I'm singing Freddie Mercury songs.
Yeah. Well, he's probably the reason I became a singer. He's like my number one guy, and it felt weird to do it any other way.
Yeah, sure.
I hadn't seen a lot of tribute bands, but I knew that if I can give people just a glimpse of what it would be like if he were here, then that's worth the price of admission.
That's and you do the mustache and everything.
Yeah.
And
can't do without the mustache.
Yeah, you got do you like make it totally black or whatever?
I put a little bit of makeup in it
nice.
to make it darker.
Nice.
Yeah, than it is.
I love it. So cool. We have a couple more comments. I just want to jump in here and talk to our people that are watching. We have a few people watching. First of all, Laura Roberson says, "Can't wait for Saturday." I'm hoping maybe she means Friday. Does she mean Friday? Maybe.
Well, unless she's going to be at Waxy's.
Oh, that's true. She might be at Waxy's for Julia.
Unless we're doing the Freddie show in Hot Springs.
Oh, on Saturday. So maybe that's what she's going to.
Waxy's or
okay,
Central
that's
Theater in
what
Hot
it
Springs.
is. There you go. So I'm going to go back over here. And Jared says, by the way, he used to manage the Riff, the fellow you met earlier today.
Oh, okay.
He used to manage before you did the Freddie. Anyway, he says one of the most successful shows the Riff has. Randall and his band do amazing. Don't miss it, he says.
Yeah.
Back to Arnell about Journey. He says, same Jared says, the thing that's funny with Arnell is people still call him the new singer, but he's been with Journey now longer than Steve Perry was.
No way.
That's interesting.
That is
That's kind of
wild.
like Jimmy Fortune from the Statler Brothers. Like I toured with the Statler Brothers for a
No
while
way,
as
that's
their opening
cool.
act, and Jimmy was the new guy, but he had been there longer than their other tenor singer.
Oh.
When they retired. It's hilarious. I didn't know that about Arnell.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
No,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
We got some good trivia questions coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the first word of Another One Bites the Dust?
There you go.
And
What's the very
been
first
with-
word?
Who's been with Journey longer,
That's
Arnell
right.
or Steve Perry?
That's true. Jared also says would be totally badass if after the show Randall jotted over to Marty's and sang some karaoke with us.
Oh, maybe.
I tell you what.
You were
there
just
is-
saying
there is no way.
That's his private.
I mean,
side.
I'll come visit. I'll
Yeah,
be in the mood
yeah.
to like
Hang and have a drink or
But when that's done,
You're
I
right.
am immediately on repair mode.
Gotcha.
Because rarely have we done them back to back, like night after night, and usually I build up to this show and then it's very relieving. Now I can relax. you
Yeah.
know, because the next day I feel like I've had my ass kicked pretty badly.
Yeah, I bet so.
And Julia said, Steve, the first word is Steve. I can't believe that. I never knew that.
I know.
That would be. You could make some money on that bet.
I will never hear
Big
that song
time.
the same again.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to play it tomorrow night. I'm going to just play it tomorrow night. Maybe even sing it. I don't know.
The funny thing would be if I've misheard the lyrics or I misread them because I just trusted,
Oh, how funny.
trusted Google, and I've just had them wrong this whole time, and I'm singing Steve, and I just admitted it. And it's really like she.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh, hilarious. I love it.
We could test the Spotify.
Okay. We're gonna the Spotify because they do lyrics now, so we're gonna
'cause
test.
they do.
I'm
Is
pretty-
Queen on there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
On Spotify?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna test some Spotify lyrics. See if they see.
Let's see. What's the lyric?
Don't play the
button?
song, we'll get
This
shut
one?
down.
I know. No, I'm trying to. Oh, here. This is
A
it.
little microphone.
Damn it. Do you put more?
I don't know. Let's see on here.
It's Steve.
It is Steve,
Yeah. Steve walks warily down the street.
Let's go.
but he says, "Let's go."
Oh,
Well,
that's
yeah.
true. That's true.
Technically,
The
but you know what
the
he
first
meant.
sang lyric. Yeah.
Yeah, the first.
I got you.
Let's go. We're not talking about that.
We're talking about Steve walks.
You'd still. Yeah. It's.
So if you haven't gone yet, then Steve is the first.
That's
thing.
right.
Yeah.
Correct. Oh my God.
Well,
that's
when
so
are we going to
funny.
go? When are you going to sing Steve?
Right, Steve. Now let's sing some Steve. Oh my God, I love it.
And so technically, the first lyric is "Ooh."
Exactly.
Not even let's go. It's
Yeah.
ooh. Yeah. Steve. I'm just writing down Steve. I'm just making some notes. Steve. There's a big note.
We've been saying Steve a lot.
I know.
Steve Perry. and-
Steve Perry,
Yeah.
Steve.
It's a theme
It
here.
is a theme.
You had just mentioned your album, so I want to get into that a little bit. Like, you've already started it; it's already done.
Yeah,
What
it's almost
stages?
done. It's
Okay.
almost done. I've got vocals and brass to record,
Mm-hmm.
and then like minor, details.
Yeah.
little bit of editing, but yeah, it's mostly done. I haven't started on the vocals, so I've recorded everything once, and that's always the way it goes. I'll record a first version, sometimes a second version of some of the songs, and then it's on, to getting it right. So we've done the final. I've had the DeVilles, my live band, play on the album,
Okay.
and then people that a lot of times we have, including Ryan Dunn,
Mm-hmm.
people we have play a lot, as often as we can live. So Ryan Dunn on saxophone, Patty Steele on clarinet, and it is going to have Rachel Ammons on fiddle, and then the brass will be laid down soon. So
nice.
So yeah, it's right now it's 16 songs, and it won't be 16. So it's got to be
somebody gets to get cut.
Yeah, well, there have been so many cuts that have hurt so bad.
Yeah.
But it's the most cuts I've ever had to do, because it's been a while since I've put out an original album. So they've been just building up, and songs that I thought for sure were going to be on it. There have been other ones that came along, and something's got to go.
Yeah.
So how many other original albums do you have?
There are 5 out now.
Okay.
Yeah, and this will be the first one that's out on vinyl, and
vinyl's awesome.
Yeah.
So have you ever dropped a song from a previous album and then used it for another album?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Almost always.
Nice.
Like every album, but the first one, every album has had something that. Second album did have one that was just like, it really was a timing issue. It was right on the edge, and it didn't fit that first album. So yeah, everyone has had at least one that came from the sessions before.
Oh, that's cool.
When you say you generally record them twice, do you fully record them, like with a whole band?
Yeah, well, I record them. The first version is always me tracking everything.
You're just building the tracks and playing all the instruments.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So the first version is like a fast, sloppy, like not sounds unintentional. It's lags in spaces, and the songs might be too short, or it might be missing this bridge, or it might be missing all the lyrics or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, every album has a reference version that's
cool.
That I if in most cases there are other players, and so it's the version they get, because I want them to also kind of take ownership, of their part of what they're playing, and but I want there to be something to go back to, so it's not just, I don't like what you're doing. It's this was my intention.
This is the part.
Yeah. That takes it too far from the idea,
sure.
which has been great, and I think has kind of helped me and my band, the DeVilles, like develop our relationship in a way that doesn't cause friction. I think because I guess if I'm totally honest, I'm probably a little bit of a control freak about my music. I definitely am, and I want things done. I want things done with the original, the original way, the way the idea came to me.
Yeah.
Except in the rare case where I change my mind.
Right.
And they just add their flavor to it. I mean, they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
They're playing for a reason.
Oh yeah.
But they add their little taste and.
Yeah, well, I think it also takes a lot of the pressure off of them, where they don't feel like they got to come in here and like invent something.
Right.
They come in here and interpret. It gives them a lot of room to just do your thing, do what you're real, do what is the reason that we started working together, because you take something that I can do and you make it, you do it better,
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, man.
But this album isn't done yet. It's after the Freddie, you're going to focus on it and get it done.
Yeah, which is kind of the whole point of the biggest point of dropping the Freddie stuff.
Yeah.
Is it takes me away from this. It really does. It makes me not able to really focus and be myself when I'm doing it. There's even some of the songs, they sound, it sounds like Freddie, as far as like my version of Freddie, which I don't mind at all.
Right.
It's totally fine. I feel like that's part of that growth that, that has happened. Like the fact that it can sound like my version of Freddie is to me a bonus. That's something that I like being there. but it was shocking to me when I listened to playback and realized, oh my God, I'm doing my Freddie.
I'm doing that thing.
right.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Which
saying.
we are just a bundle of our influences.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
Whatever we do, we try to mimic this, we try to mimic that, and then when we find our original voice, it's a conglomerate of a bunch of them. So you can always find those flavors here and there. There's in my voice, there's a little bit of Reba, there's a little bit of Patsy, there's a little bit of Pat Benatar, Joan Jett, whatever, and you can hear that. Or Etta James. There's like all these different influences that I've had. You can hear that when I sing.
Yeah.
If you listen. If you don't, you just like the cover song I'm doing. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I love that though. Your Freddie's coming out.
Yeah,
that's cool.
No, I contacted Cliff, the one who started the the whole idea of the Freddie tribute. I contacted him as soon as I did that demo, and I was just like, man, you got to hear this.
Oh, good.
You got to hear, like, this is was not the intention, and in fact was something I was trying to avoid in some ways. I didn't want it to. Really, I just didn't want the Queen tribute to keep me from just doing the record, like focusing on the record. But then whenever it started like bleeding into it, at a time that I had set aside to just work on the album, that was kind of a neat surprise.
Yeah. What's generally your process? Is it songwriting and doing your original music? I mean, even 5 records into it now, has it been all over the map, or do you kind of find yourself sort of doing almost a very similar approach every time? Or?
No, it is a similar. It's I like to be alone for the first round. I like to the ideas almost always come from a voice note. It used to be a handheld recorder, and now of course it's an iPhone.
Right.
And I keep all those, I've got the first like, la da 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 da, in a voice recording. I've got almost all of those saved, and then I'll sit down in the studio with the intention of turning that into something that can, that I'm not embarrassed for people to hear.
Right.
And that's the first version of the song. And which will also tell me a lot. I'll learn a lot on that first version. Like, okay, here's what instrumentation needs to be there. And
so that first version is literally just you playing and singing. It's not that play every instrument thing you said a minute ago.
The first version is the iPhone version with just me sometimes just singing into the phone, and a lot of times hit my chest to let me know where the one is.
Right.
But then the second version after that is usually a pretty full, or full as in a 4 or 5 piece band.
Right.
It's got guitar and bass and drums and piano.
Just so you can feel that.
Yeah. Because I want to know, like, is it worth spending time?
Right. And not only instrumentation wise, do you actually listen for lifts and like a swells and things that like you just can't explain to a band if you were trying to work it up in a rehearsal.
Yeah, well, also a lot of stuff I found would get shot down before I started just recording, a version of things that I knew were keepers. I knew, like with the band that me and my brother were in before, a lot of my stuff was not, he was the faster writer. Right. And both of us were kind of doing things the same way, but I was the drummer in that band, and so like I would help bring that thing to life on its very first, like, let's try this. Yeah. So my songs weren't being brought to life, so I had to find another way to like show what I'm talking about instead of going from like I couldn't play guitar well at all. I don't play guitar well now, right? But I couldn't play. I could barely convey what I was trying to convey back then. And so that's really where it started. It was like I just want to like push a CD across and say, listen to it and tell me what you think and what you would do, and that's the way it started, I think. Yeah. So that's my process. I like to have something that you can go back to whenever it starts getting off track, but also something that I don't have to worry that the point has not been conveyed. If you don't like it, after I've shown you that first version, then maybe it's something I should think about. Maybe if you don't like that, then the idea has been represented. So maybe I'm just too attached to a bad idea.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's hard. It's hard to know that if I haven't conveyed the idea properly.
Sure. I feel you. I'm going to go to the comments real quick because we have a big long paragraph from Jared. But real quick, Cindy Lucas says, "Hey Steve," instead of "Hey Jude." And then Lori's back, and Lori says, "Is there going to be a sad love song? My favorites on the new album."
I have. I've always got sad love songs, but I think that this one has the best both sides of I think the two things that I do best. Well, it's like sad, either sad or just like ballads, and then quirky stuff. And it's got the best of both sides.
Oh, cool.
It's the most heart-wrenching on one end, and then on the other end, it's the most circusy, like vaudeville, wild, strange, ideas for a song.
Fun.
All while being something that I think that the general population will enjoy on first listen. It's not something that I think like is an acquired taste.
Right.
But it is like the ballads. It's been hard, keeping it from being a real downer album. Some of the cuts that have hurt the worst have been, all right, there are too many songs.
You're like, I don't want to lose that one.
Yeah.
I love it so much. Yeah.
It's like Michael Stipe. He's just sad all the time.
Ooh, yeah.
It's like, Mike, come on.
Come on, bring it up a little
Even
bit,
when he
buddy.
tried to do the Happy Shining People, he just wasn't believable.
It's not
It's like, Mike, you're not convincing me. She is, but you're not.
Right. Oh yeah, she's shiny happy people.
Yeah. I'm a sad ballad love song person too.
Oh, I love 'em.
I love
I love 'em,
them. I will
but
do them all day long.
Stipe's the
Absolutely.
best at it.
He's the best at it.
Is.
No one can
Yes.
sing a sad song
I
better
mean,
than him.
when you do a song, everybody hurts.
That song, I sat and listened to that in my bedroom when I was 16, 15, whatever it was. And my dad came in and was just like, "Hey, you think you could maybe turn that off?" Like, it had been going, I don't know how many times I'd played that, but I'm going through 15, 16-year-old stuff.
Right.
I relate to this, Dad.
And I was like, "Dad, why do you want me to turn it off?" And he was just like, "'Cause it's depressing." And I was like, "It's not depressing." He's like, "It's objectively depressing." I'm not asking if you think it's depressing. It's depressing as
It's not a matter of opinion, son.
It is totally depressing.
I like it's the hill I'm gonna die on. I was like, "It's not depressing, Dad." Like, I should have let it go.
I'm digging in. I'm going to dig in.
Well, I would take the same take I take on that song is the same take I take on Creep. Like, a lot of people don't like Creep because it's like, oh, it's so self-deprecating and I see it as like a fuck you song. I see it as people him saying, "Oh, I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. Yeah, you're so fucking special." That's the way I see it. And when I see it like that, I sing it differently. And so Everybody Hurts can be seen the same way. Like, it's more of like everybody hurts. Instead of like, everybody hurts. Yeah. It's more of a...
I might be with Randall's dad on this one. It is objectively depressing.
Objectively depressing.
That's the best.
He is right. I realized pretty quickly after I got out of the house that he was right. I just I wouldn't.
It was your jam then.
At the moment.
Man, I needed it.
Yeah,
I needed
mine.
to know that I'm not the only one who hurts.
That's right.
Just like, what's that you say? Everybody does this? Okay, good.
Okay, good. Cool.
Oh, it's one of my most favorite songs in the whole world.
certainly.
So beautiful.
But,
Yes. But you're like, you only play it once in a while when you kind of need it.
objectively depressing. I swear to God, I'm going to print a t-shirt.
Objectively depressing. Everybody hurts. Objectively depressing.
Objectively depressing.
All right, I'm going to see what Jared's big paragraph is all about. He says, as somebody that has also done a couple of tribute, not cover acts, Axl Rose and King Diamond, what's been your biggest takeaway from the experience? That's one question. And I love your shared experience of really going all in on the person you're playing tribute to. I basically do a character study of body language, vocal tics, mannerisms, etc. I feel that really is important, and that part plays that often gets overlooked, as it's often what separates the great tribute acts from the okay ones. So back to the question, what's your biggest takeaway from the experience of being in this Freddie tribute?
My biggest takeaway is probably that I was right all along. Freddie is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I think just I didn't know how to grow from where I was before I started it, and it taught me a new level of who I could be.
Nice.
It taught me I wouldn't have known how to work toward, and if I have a goal, I'm goal oriented and I push toward it. I didn't know how to become better. And just doing this and just feeling oh my God, I could just humiliate myself, walking out on this stage, in a few months, whenever I do this, working toward not humiliating myself made me just so much stronger as a vocalist, and as a musician, and in a lot of ways as a person, because just knowing that I could improve as much as I did in a few months, by focusing on what somebody else has already done. And this is something that I should have known already, because I've experienced this in a lot of other ways, but somebody else has already done all this work. If I focus I thought that I had absorbed everything from Queen that I could. Mm-hmm. I had not, going all in, and with there being something on the line, for me, it truly just made it like I would go into, and now I go into, doing my stuff, doing stuff that I've written in the past, and, performed 1,000 times, now the things that I used to tell the band, I can't do that one first. It's got to be like deep in the set, because I've got to it doesn't matter how much warm up I do, I can't do this song that I wrote. Then going from that to being able to just do it like me and a guitar, that's like the big takeaway, I think.
Yeah.
That when there's a weakness in me, there's a way to make it stronger, and especially when somebody like Freddie has like laid it out,
I think that kind of thought is super fascinating for anybody, whether they're a singer or not. And in your particular case, it was still a musically related, extracurricular activity to to do this. But it's wild how some people don't even know that they can grow, because they just haven't even just tried something that they've never done before. Just that sort of fundamental, objectively, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to borrow from your
Objectively.
dad. Sort of regardless of what, so like it almost wouldn't matter. I mean, just to give a ridiculous example, if you're a really good, whatever, you're a really great veterinarian, and all of a sudden one day you just choose to go, sew a quilt, and you're thinking to yourself, well, that's ridiculous. It doesn't play into my career. Why would I? And the amount of time and hours it would take to actually complete a quilt, we all know those things are complicated. Mm-hmm. And when you get done with it, would you become a better veterinarian? And I would say, yeah, you probably will. Mm-hmm. You're going to learn something. I think some people get overwhelmed with like, what could I do to become a better person? And maybe it's not quite so, you don't have to overthink that so much.
Yeah.
Just committing to something at all that will just change the way you think about how to do stuff. Someone might say, you should do a Freddie Mercury tribute band. And you're like, well, I already know all of Freddie Mercury songs.
Right.
I already know Queen songs.
Right.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that. But then to actually do it, now you find yourself.
If somebody said that, I'd be like, well, what's the first word of Another One Bites the Dust? And they'd be like, she. I'd be like, wrong.
You are wrong.
You have a lot to learn.
Here's what I have learned.
Yeah, that's his takeaway.
That's his takeaway.
I think in addition
Much
to
simpler
Jared's
answer.
question, though, did you do some of that stuff? Did you get into like standing in front of the mirror and like it really sort of?
I'll be totally honest. There was a place I could stand where there was a silhouette on the wall.
Oh, okay.
I would do that. That was way more helpful because I think the mirror would have distracted me very much.
Oh, sure.
It would have felt hopeless like that. You don't look
Oh,
at
I
all
can
like
see
that.
that. Yeah.
But seeing my silhouette up against this white wall was like that was my spot. Like I would, because I was watching Queen videos all the time also.
Yeah.
And when I would watch his moves, it would be like, that's the experience, it's because he's so animated. It's not, there's no, it'd be like if you did Axl Rose without doing a little bit of the sway.
Right?
You gotta do
You
some
got to
of
do
it.
some of it at least. Yeah.
So it was, I wasn't certain at the beginning that I would do any of the, characterization of it. But in the downtime between learning these songs or while learning these songs, it's like, to see my silhouette and actually see it like represent him pretty well. Like I'd be like, it'd be possible to give people just moments, and wouldn't that be great?
That's fantastic.
Wouldn't that be even better?
Yeah.
And way to have that confidence. I played Patsy Cline at the Landers Theater here in town.
Oh, you did?
2006. So it's the only real.
She can channel that bitch.
I've been a cover singer my entire career, since 1992. But when I did that, I had to become her. And I was not in charge of my makeup or my hair. That was all done. My wardrobe. That was the theater did all that.
Okay.
So that wasn't my thing. But I watched video after video after video after video. Same kind of thing. She's not animated by any means.
Right.
So she was in that respect super easy to emulate, but her talking voice was hard because she's somewhere in the Virginia kind of dialect, which was hard, but I didn't have any more than like 5 lines to speak, so thank goodness for that. But her songs and how she performed, and she would do this at the end of a song or something like this, and that's the only animation she really had, but that was the only time I really did a tribute to an artist. And to this day, like if I sing a Patsy Cline, if I sing it in my band, I'll do it my way, but if I do a song that someone requests at karaoke or something like that, I'll put the Patsy in. I'll be like, you got to sing, you got a little break in your voice or whatever. You got to do that. And so with her, I got a really great review from the newspaper about how I channeled her voice and how it sounded. If he shut his eyes, it sounded like Patsy Cline, which was awesome.
That's like isn't that the best?
Freaking.
It just feels like, I can see like why people would continue doing this.
Yes.
It is something that I absolutely love. And
especially since you love him so much.
Yeah, the show is something that I love. But hearing people say stuff like, wow, at times it was just like, it was like being there.
Yep.
Yeah. That just.
Especially those who never got to see him live.
Yeah.
And you're doing such a good job that it's like,
I'm one of
there.
those.
Yeah.
I'm one of those.
I never did either.
I was alive when he was, I was young, but I was alive when he was alive. The thought that I missed it. And for somebody to say, like, it felt like at times that I was there, I feel like then I've given a gift.
Yes.
I feel like then I've given something more than just like that. It's not something I've taken from the audience. It's something that I've been able to give. And wow. What a cool thing.
Just to remind, if people, there's a bunch of people still watching. Tomorrow night, 8:00, the Riff right here in Springfield, Missouri. So go check out the Freddie Mercury tribute. We're not done here. I'm just putting that back out there so you guys
tomorrow night, keep plugging that thing
because I want everybody to go there.
It's a wild show. And it's extremely.
And the Riff is a great
everything
venue.
I've heard for
with
sure.
Amazing sound.
I haven't got to see it myself either, but I might.
You should sneak over
there
tomorrow.
Yeah. You should do that.
Yeah, I probably
send me some videos while somebody's singing. I'll be like,
I shall do that.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Heck yeah. So I want to go back to the time that you guys re-met each other over. What was it called? It wasn't Bear's Place. What was that called for 5 minutes?
It was Creekside.
Creekside.
He did call it Creekside.
He had the original Creekside on Creekside down in Galloway.
Yeah, by the creek.
And it was a wonderful venue. I loved that little
was.
place. It was such a cool little place. And so when he decided to do this little Creekside up here on the hill, it wasn't the same, but it was still Bear. It was fun. And he decorated it very similarly. But we went there to see you one time, and you hadn't made the connection, or had you already?
I
Tom had already talked to you.
The reason we went there is because I had made the connection.
Okay.
And we knew that Randall was playing. So I was just like, because of things that Tom had told me and everything else, like, oh man, Randall's going to be right over here at Bear's new place.
Yeah.
Like, we should go see him because I'd like to talk to him and kind of reconnect about that whole situation. Yeah. So that was why we went.
So we're watching your show, and I'm just fascinated with your voice. I think you just have a fascinating voice, but your looping stuff that you do is very complicated to me. I can't understand it, and it's I don't know. It's just fascinating. And then,
which includes guitar playing and drums and percussion and all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah.
And it's just a
where
cool
the loop
show.
builds and then he'll sing, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. And so at one point, you requested a song.
Yeah, you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
Am I? Okay, I'll back off. Go ahead.
Well, before you even tell the story, like, interestingly, my most favorite Jeff Buckley song is Lilac Wine. Mm-hmm. Like, and a lot of people they've got all these, of course, Jeff Buckley songs that they all love and everything else. But that one very, very specifically is like kind of always been my favorite from the Grace.
And it's not one of his more popular ones.
No. There's not tons of people that even know it unless you are fully engaged in the Jeff Buckley club.
Yeah.
If you're in the club, you know Lilac Wine. But if not, you only know certain things. Mm-hmm. So he was doing some covers as well as I think some originals and stuff that night, right? Yeah. And so, I went up, and this was before we had got to talk at the end. And I said, my request was, could you play a Jeff Buckley song, but not the one?
Not the one. Yeah, I remember that.
Just don't play the one.
Not the one.
He looked right at me. He knew exactly what I meant. And he's like, okay. And I turned around.
Which I'm glad you said that, because that's usually the one.
Yes,
that's usually
exactly.
the one.
I've recorded the one.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, it's one of two covers that I've ever released.
Nice.
Oh, I'm going to have to check that one out.
Yes, we'll have to find that.
So I was like, could you do, and it was a very casual show. You know, I wasn't being a dick to come up stage and make a request.
No, there were 12 people there.
Yeah,
exactly. It was a small kind of very quaint sort of situation.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, could you do a Jeff Buckley song, just not the one? He's like, okay. So I go sit down, and now Randall's just on stage, like tinkering. Mm-hmm. Or he might have played another song, but I think it was just immediately he started kind of just tinkering. I'm just kind of like,
you're just barely hearing chords.
We're all just waiting, and he's
just barely
tinkering, and you can hear some parts working out, and I'm just like,
I was like, he's gonna do it, because you didn't say what song.
No, I didn't. Mm-mm. I didn't request a song.
I was getting all giddy. I was like, he's gonna do it.
I said, just play Buckley, just don't do the one.
Right.
And so, if you know the song Lilac Wine, there is some chords in it that like. It's undeniable. Yeah. So while he's tinkering, all of a sudden I hear it cling, and I'm like, dude, he's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Yeah. It's like that G minor 6 or something like that.
Yes, it is. And he didn't even normally perform that song, was kind of picking it out right there on stage. Actually played Lilac Wine.
It was fantastic.
It was so good.
I'm so glad it wasn't a disaster. This would be a very different conversation. You'd be like, and then he
tried.
Of all things, he ruined my favorite song. I don't know why we've had you on today, Randall. I guess just to tell you that we hated what you did.
Do you want to call you out? No.
No, the whole moment was super
so
fun. Because back when I was doing song pulls at my house, which is, songwriting, it was like we were just getting together. And we were kind of encouraging each other, me and my friends. Our bands were kind of done, and we were starting to have kids and get real jobs, but we still wanted to kind of share each other's music with each other. So it didn't have to be, this is like before Facebook and before YouTube. We would just get together at my house and like purposely bring a song you've written in the last 30 days. Don't bring something that you've been working on for 3 years. Only the last 30 days. So there might be flubbed up guitar parts, and there might be lyrics that you forgot. Mm-hmm. We always
on a
had
napkin,
lyric sheets on napkins on a music stand. That was kind of the fun of it. Is that you were being so raw, and you had no idea if this idea was even going to work. But we had a specific day, so make sure you're ready by that day. And we would film it, and we did interviews about like what was the inspiration of your song, and we kind of got all into this. And those moments that were very similar to that Lilac Wine story, those are the best. I mean, we had I don't know if you know Matt Long from Carthage, Missouri.
I know Matt Long.
He plays everything.
Yeah.
Good singer, songwriter.
He used to come to song pulls all the time at my house.
Okay.
And one of the best songs he ever wrote was a song called Guilty Conscience. And he left Carthage on his way to my house. This was wild. This was actually the very first song pull we ever did. He left Carthage on his way to my house and wrote the whole entire song in his head. He hadn't come up with one in the last 30 days. Everybody always waited till the last minute. They'd be out in my front yard.
Some of them were in the basement.
Yeah, so they're at my front yard or down in my basement trying to work out their last verse or something. Matt was driving, so he couldn't play an instrument. So he literally worked everything out in his head, lyrically, melody, and the guitar parts. And if you know Matt Long well, you know that that's totally believable that he can do this kind of shit. He's like one of those genius kind of kids. So however long it took to get from Carthage to, I lived on Elm, like kind of Elm and Pickwick, right over here by the school.
A little over an hour, probably.
He just pulls in and he starts hanging out with everybody. Hey, man, how's it going? It's like, hey, Matt.
He's not like furiously shouting.
No.
I would be a stress ball.
Yeah.
Totally.
If I was even considering this.
Right.
So he just hangs out with us and is like, okay, we're going to get started. And we pick numbers to see who's going to go first and, all this kind of stuff. So he's last. And so he's got to sit and listen to everybody's song and everything else. And the second to last song was a smash hit song. It was freaking awesome by a friend who'd not really written very many songs before, but he lucked into an amazing chorus called Rings on the Table. It was awesome. And we only had a group of about 10 or 12, 15 of us there. Everyone's going crazy. Just like, oh, that's a great song. Celebrating. We all celebrated each other. We applauded each other. All these kind of things. It was a super cool, like family groupie net type thing.
I love
it. It was so good.
We'll call you when we do it again.
Please.
Yeah, I've got some video and stuff of a lot of it too. So Matt goes last, and he sits on my piano bench, and he literally just puts his hands in his laps. He's got a guitar up under his arms, and he just stares at the floor, and we're all watching him. This is the feeling I got when you were working on Lilac Wine. It was just kind of like we just had to wait. Matt's just sitting there. And then he goes, okay, I've never played this before. And he plays this song called Guilty Conscience. And he does not flub it up. And the chord changes are complicated. It ain't like a CFG type of chord.
And he hasn't played it. He just wrote it in his head.
He had never played it. But he did a little bit of that, like,
Sure.
and then he's like, okay, I'm ready to do it. And this song ended up being one of the biggest songs. We ended up doing like 20 song pulls, 20 months in a row at my house. It grew up to like 30, 40, 50 people were showing up to
different
perform.
cities and stuff.
And so anybody you talk to that was ever a part of Song Pool, they'll know this song that I'm talking about called Guilty Conscience. And anyway, it was just, I felt some of that same spirit when we saw you play over there at Creekside. It was really cool. It wasn't so overly polished that you were not approachable, but it was also just so intimate that it was kind of really cool. And that's the only Randall Shreve version I've seen. I've not seen you with your band, and I haven't got to see you in the Freddie Mercury thing either. So that was actually my first experience.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Mine too.
Which is kind of cool, because I think from here on out it's going to be like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing him
Like,
in that
what?
junky little place that Bear had. That's awesome.
Dicking around on his guitar.
Dicking around.
Bear had that place for what, a month? Or something?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
I loved when Bear contacted me and said, I'm opening up. It's gonna be, Creekside.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god,
Here we go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then-
saw the Facebook post. I was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I got there, he was just like, it's not gonna last. This will be your only time playing here.
Yeah.
Dang it.
It was a beautiful thing.
It was. He put a lot of effort to not keep it open very long. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And I just saw a sign that went in the window that I don't know, 2-3 weeks later, it was like, remodeling.
I think I was asking Bear for a
Remodeling.
couple more beers, like after it was closing time or something. I was like, are you sure it's okay to buy after? He's like, oh, I don't care. I was like, well, but can't you get in trouble? He's like, I don't have a license.
We can say it now.
I'm just waiting for him to shut me down. He didn't care at all.
I went to Come and Go and got these beers. I don't know. Oh, it was crazy. What a guy. I love that guy.
I love him too.
He's the best.
So fun. I just want to jump back. A couple of comments / questions came in. Jared also says, when you were talking about he was asking the takeaway from the Freddie Mercury tribute. He says, spot on, man. That's been my experience as well. It pushed me to grow in many ways, neither expected nor thought was possible. Seeing somebody's personal approach to music through their eyes, as close as possible anyway, is a real insight to music as a whole. Yeah, I can agree with that. And then Julia says, oh, snap, get me started on Lilac Wine. We still need to get drunk together and sing it. She's talking to you. Because we've talked about Lilac Wine on here before. And then she's like, I always sing it to my husband when I get too drunk.
I think that's just drunk enough.
Maybe.
When you start singing Lilac Wine, I think that is just, you're in the zone.
Oh my God.
You're
You've done it.
Zone.
You've done it sitting here. We sometimes party till all hours of the night, just the two of us in this little studio, and we play
when
music.
those snare brushes kicking.
Matt Johnson, I think that is.
Yeah.
It's so nice. And the cry in Jeff Buckley's voice, that night when you did that song, I was just like, he's got the cry. He's got the cry. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, Jeff Buckley was one that really got me into singing. You know, Queen was always my favorite band, but didn't push me to singing. I think maybe pushed me to songwriting, but I don't know, maybe pushed me farther from singing. Like you could never even...
Oh, I see.
You could never even, hope to... When I first heard Buckley, my younger brother was into him. My younger brother was the first one who realized he was a singer.
Yeah.
And so I was his drummer, and he would listen to Buckley on the bus, and I would just like I would go to the back. I didn't like it. It clashed with me. It was like this, it was like friction.
Well, coming from a Petra fan, I can.
Well, I was in detox, I guess.
Detox.
But no, it took years and years before, one day it clicked in Buckley's voice, and Buckley's everything was healing to me instead of off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was something. I've always thought there was something in his voice that was too familiar. Maybe there's something that was just too. You shouldn't be putting that on display,
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But the more I listened to him, the more it was just no, this is exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
This is how it's supposed to be.
My first experience with him was also back when Grace first came out, and Johnny Q. Public was actually working on Extraordinary. We were in the studio when I first heard him, and I didn't know at all that song was a Leonard Cohen song. I'd never even heard that song ever. Yeah. And Joe Baldridge, our producer, actually played that for us, and the reason he was playing it for us was to display how music, can have God in it. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean God the Father, Jesus Christ God. I mean it can have magic in it. You can play a guitar and it doesn't have magic in it, and you can play a guitar and it does. Mm-hmm. There's just, you can't explain it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I do. There's a pulse, and everybody calls it such different things. I've heard it called pulse. I've heard it called God. I've heard it called magic. Where there is just something that Jeff did on that whole record, actually, but especially Hallelujah, that was just something's happening I've never heard before. I've heard music, I've heard singers, and
you've heard great stuff,
and guitar playing, and compression, and effects. Yes, I've heard all of those physically, but I haven't heard what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm. Of course, in the studio, you're in the control room. Everything is just so crisp and perfect, and
it surrounds you.
You can hear breathing and to hear that song for the very first time ever like that, it was I knew from there on out, there's a goal to be had in songwriting that is not just getting it done. Mm-hmm. It's not just a matter of, I need one more verse and this song will be done. It's no. One more verse and you're just now beginning to figure out how to put God in it now. Because if you don't have God in it, then forget about it. It's just a jangly tune that someone's just going to want to sing along, and that I don't know, that recording is what just told it to me, like a billboard,
That whole album, I don't know how I didn't connect with it immediately. I mean, probably, shitty speakers on a shitty boombox
Right.
in a loud bus.
Sure.
That's
Right.
probably what did it.
That's not a good environment for Jeff.
It's not. But no, I 10 years later, I think it
Yeah.
was that I heard it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That it just really I was taken away by it.
Yeah.
And that's and that was when I was I think becoming a singer or becoming aware that I was a singer.
Yeah.
And that just it shook me, it
Yeah.
really shook my insides, and I wanted to recreate it. I wanted to give people that I had been given,
And it's apparent you have that quality. I mean, I've listened to a lot of your original stuff, whether it be just whatever YouTube and Spotify, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you have that same ability. You can go places. You're not just singing the lyrics. You're not just kind of getting the song done. I can feel that you're trying to move it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's that same kind of thing. And I think other people do it in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to sound like Buckley.
Right.
You don't have to be a ballad guy like him.
Yeah.
You can do something. U2 does it, and they don't sound anything like Jeff Buckley. And sometimes you can feel that in their music as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Stuff like that. So, and I think your stuff is definitely in there. You know what I mean?
Well, good. I mean, that really means the world to me coming from you.
Are you a Pokey Lafarge fan?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Oh, I have often wondered how he's doing that.
Yes.
I've attempted to do what he's doing with his voice. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be a real case study.
Yes.
And embarrassing for anybody to hear me trying, because that vibrato that he's using
Yeah.
is insane.
I tell people I'm not positive he's not actually a time traveler.
Right.
Yeah, it's old.
I'm not
He's
kidding.
totally-
It doesn't happen
I'm
anymore.
not kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like an old World War II sounding
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
male voice that was just like that, where his dad in the 40s would have been like, "Why do you sound like a girl?"
Yes, exactly. We've seen him twice. We saw him at the Outland
have?
here.
Yeah.
A long time ago at the Outland.
Full band
And
at the
full
Outland.
band, a clarinet player and everything. It was awesome. It was just so cool. And then we saw him, what was
Knuckleheads.
that? Knuckleheads up in
Really?
Kansas City?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was in the big room up at Knuckleheads.
Just him by himself.
And he had just a girl, maybe his girlfriend or something.
She
but,
just came out for a couple songs.
But she had her hair all done up in the.
She was
in
the same thing.
Oh, she was, "Hey doll, hey
Yeah.
doll,
She was like,
what's going on?
She sang exactly like him,
I'm gonna
except
sing.
my God.
the
Oh,
female version.
And he had the outfit. It was just wonderful. It was just the two of them, and the place was full, and everybody knew his shit.
Yeah.
It was so good. And if people don't know Pokey Lafarge, you need to go check it out.
Yeah.
For sure.
We
I
have a-
listened to it. I listened to him last week again.
Nice.
Yeah. You haven't got to see him play?
No,
Oh, God.
no. I had the opportunity and I missed it.
my God.
right.
I hope to see him in the future.
So good. He's from St. Louis,
Yeah.
or that area.
He's a
anyway?
St. Louis guy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, he
I
was
mean, I
so
don't know
good.
if he's originally from St. Louis.
But the first time was
that's
at the
where he's-
Outland Ballroom and Ballroom. I can't talk tonight. Ballroom, and I was just like,
Oh, I always thought it was pronounced ballroom.
okay, thank you.
Ballroom.
It was like we were watching this, like we felt like we were in 1940 or whatever.
Yeah.
The only reason it came to my mind is
good.
because those points I was making about Jeff Buckley and about
Oh,
how
I
there
see.
can be some pulse
Yeah.
in music
Yeah.
that just seems to be undefined. Pokey is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Pokey, his recordings, his records, his live shows, like there's something happening on stage that is not just music.
Yeah.
And you just can't put a finger on it. But it's that damn Jeff Buckley record where I learned that.
Right.
I learned that there's something I can't explain to anyone for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just call it pulse.
Right.
I don't know what you
Right.
want to call it.
Ben Miller.
But
Ben
there is-
Miller.
Ben Miller's got
Ben
it.
Miller, I love Ben
Ben
Miller.
Yeah.
Miller's got it. Yeah.
That's another one that's just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, Pokey, no, not Pokey. Who are we talking about?
Jeff Buckley.
Yes. Okay. So Jeff Buckley, one of the things that is worth pointing out is that he would record a bunch of Bob Dylan. He would do Porter Wagner. He would do Leonard Cohen. you know.
Yeah.
He's doing these songs by these people who didn't have fantastic voices.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
were the songwriters of a century.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, like, but then Lilac Wine, that's one way it's different. He is singing a Nina Simone song, and it's already been done.
And
it's already been done
Yeah.
in that way. It's
Right.
already that experience has already been like the God in the music has already been, you know,
Yeah.
brought out.
Yeah.
So to even do that song is like, you can't do that better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he might have.
He kind of maybe did. Yeah.
Came damn close.
It's just so amazing that that he could reinterpret it in such a way that it's just like, wow, you know, that shouldn't have been able to have been touched.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a version that you found for me a long time ago of Hallelujah, and it was like an encore song from Buckley. It was live. It was recorded live. It was an encore song. He's drenched in
It was
sweat.
a video.
Yes, it was a video. He was drenched in sweat, and he came back on. He really didn't even say much, and he just did Hallelujah.
He's
And
exhausted.
he's exhausted.
Looks like he's ready to keel over.
There were many notes that were not perfect. And I'm just weeping at the end of the song. I'm like getting kind of misty-eyed right now, but the way he sang this song,
And was
it was
still
not
just-
it was not a crystal clear vocal performance at all.
But he was giving it all.
But I was just like, I couldn't. I'm getting goosebumps now. And I posted it on my Facebook back then. This is 10 years ago or so. And I had a couple of musician friends that were like, that sucked.
Ah,
they just don't.
I was,
So
excuse me?
There's
Even my
people that
14-year-old daughter thought it was awful. I'm like, oh my God, then you don't see anything.
You don't know anything.
I'm like,
what a shame that you missed it.
yes.
Yeah.
How sad for you that you missed it.
Totally.
It was right there.
Yeah.
It was
front of
clearly
you.
right in front of you, and you put it in your ears and still missed it.
And it's just like a,
That's sad.
a lobbed softball that you just missed.
Right.
And it was so devastating to hear those couple of people say that. And I was just like, man, I thought you were a good musician.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man. But I want to find that one again. And it's amazing. It's just, it'll take your breath away.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you
I
find
never
that.
heard him do that song that it didn't.
True.
I mean, he really, it became his.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those rare cases where he took
made
the
it.
song and it then kind of belongs to him.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons I think
Amazing swimmer, amazing singer, terrible swimmer.
I was going to say, oh my God. No. Too soon? Too soon?
Is it too
I even messed my own joke up. Damn it.
Just Google. You guys just Google. We're not gonna
we're gonna get hate mail about this
we're
one.
not gonna spoon feed that one to you. Oh my God.
Anyway, what were you
I was gonna say we gotta pause.
We were getting too heavy.
Oh, we're getting too well, all I was gonna say is that I had never even heard Hallelujah before. So I was an avid
I hadn't either.
American Idol watcher back when American Idol not when it first started, somewhere halfway through. And I used to watch it, and I used to be very highly critical of some of the singers and blah, 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 blah. I was in a different world and a different headspace at the time. And this kid comes on there, that one with dreadlocks, I don't know, year 3 or year 4 or whatever it was. He sang this song, Hallelujah. And I'd never heard the song before. I'd never even heard Leonard Cohen. I'd never even heard Jeff Buckley. And I'm sitting there watching this kid sing this song, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. But I knew that American Idol only did cover songs. So I was like, whose song is this? And so I actually posted on Facebook, I don't know who did this song. And I got berated. You don't know who does this song.
Right.
And I'm just like, no.
They're all like, Jeff Buckley does this song.
Right.
Jeff Buckley song.
It was 100. It was probably 99% Jeff Buckley and maybe one Leonard Cohen. This is before I even met you. So if he was around, he would have been like, you idiot, crazy idiot, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Leonard Cohen's version is awful.
It's terrible. It's one of the worst.
Awful.
Lyrically, it's great.
Lyrically, it's still great.
It's superb.
So then I discovered.
I heard there was a secret chord.
It's not just Hallelujah. It's every Leonard Cohen song.
Yes.
Lyrically great, but what was the word earlier about the sad song? Objectively bad singing.
Objectively bad singer.
Terrible.
subjective. Anyway, so I was like, I thought I had just discovered this song, and everybody's just berating me with us, like, where have you been? And I've been a singer at this point for 15 years or more. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward to when I meet you, and I was still in the headspace of Pat Benatar and 80 songs and doing cover and just filling the house, just doing whatever song it took to fill the house. I really wasn't understanding what we just talked about with the sweaty, cryy version of Hallelujah. And you sent me that version.
Yeah.
And it was really one of the first things that made me wake up to what we just talked about. I had missed it all those years. I hadn't missed it. I just hadn't defined it yet. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, you experienced moments of it. You experienced moments of it for sure.
But I've never really been an original songwriter and all that stuff. So I hadn't experienced my own music, making people feel stuff at that time. I've written a few songs, doesn't matter. But that was the moment when you sent me that video, and I was just like, oh, I get it now. I totally get it now. And ever since then, I've been looking for that every single time I see somebody sing.
Yeah.
Like no matter where we are, if we're over here at Archie's or if we're watching the Foo Fighters, I don't care what it is. I'm looking for that, whatever kind of music. I don't care.
And it's not to sound like a know-it-all or sound arrogant, but it's amazing how much you can just spot it from a mile away now. I mean, you can just walk into like a bar and just be like, like, I mean, within this fast, you know.
And it's okay.
I see people do that, like in my first song, most nights.
I don't think so.
A lot of well, it's usually people like
the opposite.
Well, I won't tell you exactly what they're wearing because I don't want to like. But
go ahead, please.
They'll stand up and just be like, "Not for me," and I'm just like, "No, it's not."
You are correct, sir. Bye bye.
Not.
Please drive through. I'm guessing maybe a golf shirt.
Maybe.
There's a hard line between those two genres.
Yes.
Those two.
Well, I mean, anytime somebody leaves in the first song, I'm just like, "Well, you're missing out."
Yeah,
that really is how I feel. Like, not only do I have to like find my space, but like I've got a bunch of room reading to do.
Yeah.
I've got to get around myself. Like I've got to get out of my way.
Right.
If you just wait just a minute, you'll have a wonderful time and you'll find a new experience in music probably.
Truly.
Yes.
Since
Truly.
you are the type of person to walk out in the first song.
Right.
I totally agree. We have talks, many talks. And now I'm completely on board and I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I used to think that, you got to play the songs that people want to hear. Yeah. And he was like, no, you don't. You got to play songs that people will want to hear again.
Yeah.
Whether it's your originals or a cover. Like, stop doing Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Just stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah.
Because that's a great song or whatever.
It's a totally different mentality.
And yes, when you play that song, people are like, yeah.
Yeah.
But those people are.
Yeah.
Let's try finding these people,
and
there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Right. No, well, and it kind of depends on your goal for the night.
True.
Right.
Like, do you want to educate this crowd? Is that your job? Is that what you're doing tonight? Because if you are, start off with something that they need.
Sure.
Yeah.
They
good
need
point.
need their defenses taken down, or they need to understand for themselves that, oh wait, let's not talk right now. There might be something to this,
Mm-hmm.
Or is it, or are you coming in and you want to like clear out the people who are going to be loud?
Yeah.
And then you go in, and do something totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like each night, like it causes a lot of anxiety in me just figuring out what is tonight. Mm-hmm. What is my job tonight?
Yeah.
Do I need to get rid of some people who are going to be too loud for the rest of the people tonight?
Right.
Or do I need to like bring people to a point that they can, that this whole room can
come together,
and hopefully, I got 3 hours to fail.
Right.
I might ruin this, on any given night. I might get it wrong from the very first song, and just like, wow, well, to do over again.
Let's try again. We were watching Joe Dillstrom. You know Joe?
Oh, I love Joe. Yes.
Love Joe, and he's been on the show. He's one of the recorded interviews. What is he? Let's go find him real quick. He is episode 8. He was early in 2018.
We need to have him back on.
We need to have him back on like this in this idea.
He's done a lot since then.
He's done quite a lot. And so he was playing at Shuffle, what used to be Shuffle over here, Kiss Shuffle, and he was just doing a solo thing. And he wasn't on stage. He was just right here by the bar. And when we walked in, like we're used to like whatever bands that play there and all this stuff, and we knew Joe was playing there, and I was so happy to see that he was just right here. The whole atmosphere was it was so nice and calm and quiet, and we were listening to him play because he plays very quietly.
Oh, yeah.
He sings very quietly.
Was he up on the stage?
No.
Okay.
No.
So he
Actually
was
right by the bar.
You know the L-shaped stage or bar. The stage is over here. He was just right here, over here on the side, up towards the front, and so he was playing, and it was so quiet. And we were sitting there enjoying it. We were sitting right kind of in front of him. And then in walks this couple. That's a man.
I know this couple.
Yes.
They come to a lot of my shows.
The whole bar just was like.
Yeah. Oh, they shut him up?
Well,
Yes.
everyone turned and looked right at
There
him.
were like 30 people there hanging
Wow.
and watching him play and drinking their drinks. And we were all just like. And they shut up.
yeah, or left.
They did. They left eventually.
I had one night where I had this very loud table, and everyone else was fans. Everyone else came there and paid to see, a small show, a small crowd show. And this guy kept on, and I watched several of my fans, people I knew, like turn around, and like after that song, I was just like, "Hey, you're about to get your ass kicked." And it's not by me. I'm not going to tell you who's about to kick your ass, but it's coming. Right. You should probably be quiet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's that serious.
It just got that awkward.
And, no, it was like I really think that I saved them from having their ass beat down by a lady.
By a lady. Yeah. Yes. And that's something about these smaller acoustic type acts, especially little solo ones. It's like, would you listen, please? You know, would you freaking listen? It's not when it's that kind of atmosphere. Now, sometimes I can see where it's just a dinner crowd and it's just kind of background music.
For sure, yeah.
And you're hearing knives and forks clink, 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 clink.
It's just a whole different experience.
It.
I mean, you got, like you say, it depends on what you want out of the night. Even when we went and saw Pokey up in Knuckleheads, it was a big place. I mean, I bet there was 2,000 people in this room, 1,500, 2,000, but it was all one level. There was no like balcony or any kind of, it was just one. It was like he was performing in like a basketball court. Okay. It was big. If have you been to
Knuckleheads?
Knuckleheads?
No, I don't think I've ever been.
It's a complex.
I know of it.
It's fantastic.
You would probably really love it.
You'd fit in there too. You could.
So anyway, there's a bar in the very back, and I mean, when you're standing at the bar, gosh, you're 40 yards away, 30 yards, 40 yards away from Pokey. He's on stage.
It looks like a high school auditorium.
It kind of has that feel,
but bigger, a little bit bigger.
So I'm at the back of the bar with my buddy who lives in Kansas City, and we're talking. I mean, it's kind of rude, but we're way in the back of the room, like all the way.
As far as you could get back before being in the storeroom.
As far away from Pokey as you could get without walking out the back door.
Yeah.
And we're just like, kind of like, yeah, man, da-da-da, and kind of laughing, da-da-da. After about 30 seconds of that, this girl who's sitting at the bar that far away, she turns to us and goes, "Would you two shut the fuck up?"
Whoa.
Like, okay.
Wow.
I was like, I'm sorry.
That's my kind of room.
I know. It's like,
right?
They take it serious. And
Wow.
of course I was taking it serious, but we were, we'd already been drinking a little and we were having some and we were not like being disruptive to that big of a
And it
crowd.
wasn't loud talk. It was just talk.
It was just talk, but we were way back in the corner, and this girl still was just like, "God, would you guys shut the fuck up?" And I was like, "Okay, sorry."
Was there just no room for her to go forward?
No,
not really.
No, it was full house, and so.
Well, then I get it.
But she was
I actually
serious.
get
Like
it.
she was there to see him, and she was a huge fan of his, and we were fucking it up for her. But it's interesting though how different the crowd is when you're just going to go see a cover band that plays 80s songs, and you're going to go see someone like Pokey. Like they take it seriously. So I'm just kind of coattailing on your story about that guy getting his ass kicked. I almost got my ass kicked.
You almost got your ass by a girl.
Yeah, that's right.
Another girl.
That's right.
We actually ended up stepping outside because I totally respected her and understood that she was upset, and we were kind of in the mood to horse around a little. So we
And
stepped
your
out.
buddy's more of a horser arounder than you are.
Yeah, so we stepped down.
I stayed inside and watched.
Hung out, but it's those people take their show seriously. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, which is okay, and that was a big show. Imagine if there's only 30 people wrapped around a guy with a Bose system.
One of my best stories about this, I had a guy, a couple, front row, and I knew them, I recognized them, I knew this was at George's in Fayetteville. and they are soaking it in. They're just like, they're the type of couple who, like, I recognized them as soon as I walked in. I knew that they're there to like soak in every bit. They want to like take a set list home. They want to, you know, this is a unique experience, though they've been to, you know, 20 shows before.
Right.
And I never knew them so directly that I would know like their personal lives.
Right.
But I did know this guy's a brawler. I always knew this guy's a brawler. Like,
Right.
So I noticed a couple times. This all happened over the course of a song, so 5 minutes or so. This guy he's making noise. He's trying to get people's attention around him. He reaches up and he grabs the shoulder of this guy, and this guy is just like, and he's back locked in. And then this guy is just like trying to, I don't know what he's trying to tell him.
Right.
The guy's just like, like gives him quite a few don't do that.
Right. While he's still watching you.
Yeah. And then he turns back around and he's back in. He's like completely locked in.
And
like,
you're just like,
there's a guy on the ground who's going to get up, but I'll wait for him.
Right.
You know?
Oh my
and so
God.
the guy comes back and like gets him in like a, you know, chokehold.
Right.
And then he's still like watching, grabbing hair, boom, boom, boom. Like he is just pummeling this guy and keeping eye contact with me. And I'm just like, oh my God. So he finishes this guy off, and then by the time he does, the bouncers have come there to get them all and take them out.
Yeah.
And so of course I, you know, like the song ends and I'm just like, oh, hold on, you know, the song's like still fading. I'm just like, don't take this one.
Don't take that guy. He's fine.
Yeah, like,
I saw the whole
nothing
thing.
to do with it. But yeah, like keeping eye contact with me and just
Oh my God.
trying to pay attention here, buddy.
Yeah. Can you leave me alone? Oh my God.
Yeah, that was the best.
I bet. That's the greatest.
Yeah.
Super fans. Are they still fans
Yeah.
to this day? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic.
Was that in the front room at George's or the
That
back?
was the back room.
The back room.
No, it was like packed, and so sometimes you get, you know,
You
some
get
people
just the spillover of
who
the
have
partiers.
no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
They're not there for it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, you know, drunkenly handing over their money to go in.
Yes,
You know, where all where the action.
Everybody's
is or
here. I
whatever.
might as well be there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
no,
gosh.
this was a listening crowd. This is a group of people who didn't get to see this show often, and they were all in.
So good.
Oh my God. Just staring at you, punching. Oh, that's so good.
And she didn't like. She knows that her husband is he's beating the shit out of a guy. She's like holding on to
is normal.
to the rail. And just,
Still just watching you.
Just watching. Having a
How's
good
things
time.
going, honey?
he'll be done in a minute.
Yeah, he does this, you know.
Sometimes.
Maybe next time you'll shut up.
Yeah.
How often do you play? Are you playing a lot?
Yes, I play right now 5 nights a week.
Oh, wow.
4 or 5. I have a Wednesday residency in Bentonville. Right now, I assume through summer. Or,
Right.
You know, I really like that one. I have a Sunday residency in Joplin, Missouri, and then I have I almost always play Thursday, Friday, Saturday somewhere.
Just somewhere, yeah.
Some spot shows.
Book shows, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it always with your band, or you do a lot of solo stuff?
Most of the time not.
Most of the time
And
not.
Right now, while the new album's being finished and everything, like I haven't even been booking full band shows. I'm just playing solo shows, like you know, like regularly.
Yeah,
These Freddie shows will be a big part of the next 2 months, and then the album should be finished, and then we'll probably go back to full band shows.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
But yeah, 150 shows a year is what I like.
That's nice.
And that is literally your source of income?
It is, yeah. It's I'm extremely lucky.
Right.
That's great.
I get to do it all the time, and I love it even on nights where I'm completely exhausted. I'm just like, this is what you wanted. This
Yeah.
is what
That's
you're getting
right.
to do.
Your dad's voice has got echo on it now.
I told you. Yeah.
Why is there reverb on it now?
Yeah. Why does he sound like God on a movie now?
Shit's not sustainable. Sustainable.
Yeah, it's just like, why does my dad sound like Morgan Freeman in my ears? I told you, son.
I told you. The longest night of my life. That's a good movie.
Oh, that's Shawshank Redemption, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny how everybody gets the quote wrong, and I just did too. It's like the longest night of his life.
Oh,
Because I think everybody says the longest night of my life, but it was his. He was talking about his buddy. So
Yeah,
it was
Andy
like,
Dufresne.
Yeah. We were talking about the movie Idiocracy today at lunch.
Oh, what a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
And these people, 3 people we were talking to had never even
Funny
heard of
on
it.
television.
Yeah.
Funny on television.
It's like my brother, I was talking to him about The Office, and I said, I just me and my daughter just started the Office, and we're watching it all the way through.
The U.S. version or the
the U.S. Because I've never gone start to finish, and we did Friends, and so now it's The Office.
Cool.
And so my brother was just like, hey, he was hitting me up about Seinfeld. He's just like, have you started Seinfeld start to finish yet? And I was like, no, I'm doing The Office right now. We've never actually gone through the whole thing, and so we're doing that right now. And then he said, hey, is that worth the time? I'm just like, well, the last boss I had is Michael Scott. So it's a little triggering for me. It's funny on television, not funny in real life. And Idiocracy is the same way.
The same way.
It's funny on TV.
But now it's like,
It's like, ugh.
It's pretty scary in
wait
real
a
life.
second.
Yeah,
Real scary.
Yeah. So without giving anything away, just go rent that or watch it or wherever.
for sure.
Yeah, but I do want to put together some kind of a yearly party where we all eat gummies and then go watch Idiocracy
Right.
on like one of those blow up outdoor theater screens.
Right.
Yes.
Because it would probably be the best
best.
night of your life.
Oh yeah,
Best night.
I'm
gosh.
so there.
Yeah.
Watching that show on
You're
edibles.
required to eat an edible and watch this. And an hour later, the movie will start.
I actually thought I was going to actually die of laughter.
Yes.
Like, actually
Yes.
die.
Yes.
Like something, my diaphragm's going to cause my heart to stop here in a minute. When the
We did
president,
that. We
when the
did that
president
one
comes out with the gun, shut up, motherfuckers! I was just like crying.
The first time I ever
Fell out of bed.
had an official edible was a brownie. It was just a homemade thing that my bass player friend Kathy she was like made brownies at my house, and she's like, "You want to try one?" Because I can't smoke it; it makes me ill.
okay.
But so she's like, oh, "Okay, have a brownie," and I took a bite of the brownie. I was like, "This is good." And 5 minutes later, I was like, "I don't feel anything," and I started eating the whole thing. She's like, "Stop! Slow down! Slow down!"
Wait for it.
But I'm like, because I didn't do anything like that back then. I was like 25 years old. And so that was the first night. And I remember like just an hour and a half later, I just really wanted to just go to sleep. That was the first thing. So second time I did it, my ex and I at the time, we went and watched the movie Liar, Liar,
Ooh,
which
yeah.
is another one you should not do, or not in public anyway. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't go see that in
I
public.
think it's a general rule,
Right.
Like edibles in public,
Yeah.
like general public.
Unless you know your
Yes.
dose.
yeah.
But the Idiocracy thing, a block party, and we watched that. Everybody has a little
But
square.
you have to eat an edible to get in the door.
Yeah.
Like instead of paying to get in,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to,
You
like
just hear
communion.
Yep.
Little chocolate square.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Everyone that walks in, you give them a
And
little.
then at
little
9
tab.
o'clock sharp, we are starting the movie.
A little shot of 151
Dude!
and a brownie, like in a communion plate.
Right. And
Ooh,
everybody,
I love this.
you can say whatever prayer comes to your mind. I don't care what it
Oh,
is.
movie starts 9:30 sharp. Oh my God, you'd have a field full of laughing people.
Oh my goodness. We should do that.
Oh,
we should totally
yeah,
do that.
absolutely. If y'all don't, I'm going to. If
Once
you
a
do,
year.
I'm going to be
You
in the
guys
crowd.
are watching. You might, I don't know, steal our idea.
We got to put that together.
But Idiocracy, seriously, if you haven't seen, I can't believe
I
all
couldn't
three of those
believe
people.
3 people.
One of
today.
them was our age. One of us is about 10 years younger, and then one was much younger. She was like 24. So, like, it was like a 50-year-old, a 40-year-old, and a 22-year-old, and none of them had heard of it. It was
Oh,
like,
really?
are you kidding me right now?
It is one of those cult classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That surprisingly didn't blow up
No.
as soon as like everything started becoming exactly that movie.
It
Yes.
should be
Yeah,
now
it is,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the creator, what's his last name? Judge?
Is it the same guy as the
Was it Matt
Beavis,
Judge?
it's a Beavis.
Is it
and
Mike
Butthead
Judge?
guy.
Mike.
Beavis and Butthead guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Judge.
Yeah.
He's the one, same guy that did Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Is the
I
same
didn't
guy.
realize that.
Yeah, same guy
think
that
I
did
heard.
Idiocracy. But he was talking about everyone in the movie has Crocs on, and he said the reason why they did that.
I don't even remember that.
I know, I didn't either.
Go back and watch.
He was on Rogan just like a couple weeks ago, and he said, the budget was super tight. We had nothing, shit for budget and shit for time. They weren't giving us enough time to film the movie. He said, so actually filming the movie was really, really stressful to this guy, because he was like, it's kind of like you being the drummer of your brother's band. Like, you're not giving me the chance to do what I want to do. And so he said everyone in the movie had Crocs on. And the reason why they all wore Crocs is because right when they were filming that movie, which was like 2004, it's 2003 or 4, is right when Crocs started taking off. And so they were just like, well, here's a company that is a nobody. So they're not going to require tons of money for us to use their product. In fact, they might even pay us, or at least break even, because we could, if anything, promote their thing. And second of all, there's no fucking way this company's going to take off, because
so
no
stupid.
one will ever wear these god awful fucking rubber shoes with whatever, blah, blah, blah. They were laughing at like, what a joke this company is. Maybe we can get a couple thousand pair of these for the cast of Idiocracy to wear.
Wow.
Because there's no way that shoe company's going to take off. And so, of course, Crocs blow up.
That's crazy.
But
I
then
never
the
realized
irony,
that.
yeah,
The
I didn't
irony.
either. The irony of the fact that, like, Crocs blew up
As one of the things that
is
happened.
one of the things of the future.
Wow.
Yeah. It was, and he was just doing it because of budget and just trying to get the thing done. And it's so funny that in real life, Crocs are like huge.
I love my
again.
Crocs. I have a white classic pair of Crocs, and I just love them to death. The reason I bought them, I was working at a vet clinic, and they said to buy rubber shoes of some sort because of if there's a problem with the pets, whether it's blood or urine or whatever, your shoes will be easily cleaned. I was like, okay. I love those things. I wear them as slippers. They're great river shoes. They're awesome.
I never met anybody who has owned a pair of Crocs that didn't say that
They love them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's people either just don't buy them or
Yeah.
they do and they love them.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I've had to buy several pairs of them. My daughter's like, I've spent bad money before good and bought like the generic, like, you'll get over this. Here's some generic ones.
Right.
And
Right.
then had to go to like Crocs, just like, are you
God.
kidding me?
You should have got the
Yeah.
real one, Dad.
It's the exact same thing.
Yep.
Like, but no.
No, it doesn't have the alligator
No,
on the
it's
little
not.
button. No,
Yeah.
it
It's
doesn't
not,
say
Dad.
Crocs on the thingy.
You should know
You
this.
should know, Dad.
Dad, you're not as cool as everybody thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seriously, that is a good question. You have the one daughter? Any other
oh
children?
no, I have 4 daughters and a son.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So do your children think you're cool for what you do?
Well, sometimes, yeah.
That's good.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
some of them, yeah. My 2 younger ones, they think that I'm pretty cool.
Right.
They'll
Right.
get over that for
Right.
sure. I know
What's-
from
what's-
experience.
How
What's
young
the
are
age
they?
range?
Yeah.
It's 24 to about to be 9.
Oh, geez.
In 2 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
had no
span of
idea.
ages. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was starting to make babies whenever I knew you.
Oh, okay.
I was all like getting ready.
Yeah,
Getting ready to make
I'm
some
gonna make some
babies.
babies, yeah.
You get a baby
Yeah.
and you get a baby.
24 years
Just like-
old. That's
At the
about
time,
right.
I was just like, I'm 17. It's time. Gotta start putting the seed out. You know?
I want little me's everywhere.
I did.
For the Bible tells me so.
It's so good that I wasn't a rich man, because had I been, the plan was like 20. I wanted to have so many kids. That's all I wanted. I just wanted a bunch of kids. That's all I wanted.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I got to 5, and I was just like, this is irresponsible. I'm not getting rich.
Good. We're gonna slow this pace. Slow down. Stop now. 24 to 9. That is a wide range. Yeah.
Yeah. The older 3, I was married to their mother, and then the younger 2 are with another mother. So, yeah, 2 mothers, 5 children,
That's
and they are the most amazing
that's enough.
things in my life.
That's
Yeah,
great though.
I'll bet.
Can you
They
rattle
are.
their names real quick?
Chloe, Christian, London, Stella, Charlie.
Great names.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the name Stella. That's a good name. That's cool.
She gets it yelled at her a lot.
Does she?
Yeah.
I have to explain.
Stella! Yes. Know that reference? Anyone? Oh, I love it. Yes. Very cool. So I'm going to butt in and just do a promotion for a friend of ours who is raising money. She's an artist. She's also a bartender over at WF Cody's. Do you know where that is? WF Cody's on East Sunshine. She's a bartender over there, and she has painted this painting. She ran into some tough times with vehicle situation. She supports her mother, she supports her children, and she ran into a vehicle issue where she can't pay for a new motor for her car. So we've been, for the last few weeks, promoting this raffle that she's doing, and this is her painting. And this is a painting that's about as big as this picture. So it's about 2.5 by 4 or something like this. And if it's over on display at WF Cody's on East Sunshine here in Springfield. And the cool thing about this painting, and I think you'll really love this, is that underneath the trunks of all those trees are just thoughts and confessions and things that she actually wrote first. So she knew she was going to do a forest, but she wrote these confessions and these quotes and then painted the trees over top of them. So in person, you can actually see, like, I'll just point it out for you right here. Some of those words and letters are sticking up out of the trunks. You can't read what it says, and it's purposely done. Wow. But this is like a lovely little confession painting by Chris. She has many more. But she's raffling this off. The raffle is going to be August 21st. And we ourselves right here at the studio, have tickets that we can sell. You can Venmo us the money, and we will get her the money. I'm telling the people watching, but I'm also saying to you, if you'd like to buy a ticket, that's fine. If not, that's fine. But she's raffling it off August 21st, and you don't have to be there. But if you do want to buy a ticket, it's like $5 a ticket. And we will get you involved in that painting. And I wanted to put that up there one more time. Like I said, it's a huge painting. It's almost as big as that. So it's like 2.5 by 4 feet. And it's huge and beautiful. And it's like metallic and shiny. And she's just a wonderful artist and a wonderful person in a tough situation financially. So I just wanted to throw that out there for everybody to maybe talk to us, message us.
I definitely want some tickets.
Cool. Awesome. We have a handful left. How's your wine situation over there? You're dry.
It's getting really good.
That box is almost done. I love it. Between the three of us.
Yeah.
So any more viewers have any more questions? I saw earlier somebody said, this is Jenny Rose Stone. Do you know Jenny Rose Stone?
I do know Jenny Rose Stone.
She says, Randall motherfucking Shreve!
Yeah, Jenny knows my middle name.
That's a crazy middle name. I love it.
It is, yeah. My parents were totally opposed to swearing.
Right. But for some reason.
They didn't know that one.
No.
Yeah, they didn't recognize
that was a great one.
They thought it was just a good middle name.
Yeah, and so Jared also pops in. He says, Mike Judge did Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are correct, sir.
Correct. So.
Randall, it's been so much fun, man, hanging out. Is there just some bullet point stuff about you that maybe, like random facts about Randall that would maybe be surprising or funny, or like, were you in a McDonald's commercial when you were younger?
Yeah, I was in a McDonald's commercial when I was younger. How did you know that? Because you have done your research.
Because he auditioned for one.
I did audition for one.
No. Okay. So on that note, I was an extra on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a great fun fact.
I went down and it was an accident. I didn't mean to audition for it. It was a weird situation, and I got the part as an extra, and I went down for like 2 weeks in the Bahamas. It was exhausting. It wasn't like
Did it pay?
It did.
Oh my gosh.
It paid, and I blew it all on some guy at a fair down there.
That guy. Those guys.
Some guy that convinced me that at this carnival that I could double the money, and I just thought, well, why don't I just bring double home? I was a fool back then, but thankfully I am older and wiser now. Yeah, no.
Did you actually make the cut? I mean, can you pause the movie somewhere and see
yourself?
Yeah, I can.
Right.
That's me, that little dot over there.
Yeah, I can send you a picture.
Yes.
Of me on that movie.
Yeah, you got to do that.
I love it.
That would be great.
But yeah, I got to meet a lot of the principals.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all said there are no rules, so I dry humped one of the principals on a dance floor.
Nice.
Just to prove to his bodyguard that was in the corner that I could before he got to me.
Would you care to disclose
It
which
was
principal?
Orlando Bloom.
Nice.
I knocked him all over the place, all over the dance. I mean, I did. I knocked him into Kate Bosworth, just like boom, boom, boom.
Nice.
And then scurried.
And then bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that was
See, that's great.
See,
I would have never
adventure.
thought to ask about pirates.
Had you not asked about McDonald's,
Right.
I might not have told you that
That's
story.
right.
That is a true story.
And nobody would have ever known.
That's a good one.
I love that. Any more? Any more little tidbits?
Oh, what else we
That's
got?
a good one.
Most famous person you ever met?
Oh, Dan Fritz, Johnny Q. Public.
Whatever.
Y'all know?
Whatever.
He was on MTV once.
I was on MTV.
I met. I met most of the principals on that movie. I met. When I lived in New York, I worked in the Times Square Sam Ash, which was a
Okay.
music store.
Nice.
So I met a bunch of people coming through there. I met. One of my favorites was Jeff Daniels.
Yeah.
And then I met a whole bunch of random people who needed like an adapter for their headphones or something, you know. A bunch of famous people who probably remember me.
Well, of course
I'm
they
sure
do.
they do.
Yeah, the guy that
Absolutely.
sold them the adapter for the headphones.
Yes.
For sure.
Let's see. No, I don't know. There are a lot of random facts are me.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of those. Yeah, but yeah.
You definitely have a good memory. Like you've already told stories about me that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Or not about me, but stories that I was involved in that I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't even, you're right. That
Yeah.
is how that happened.
Well, my memory, like, it gets real. It separates things into categories and puts them aside. And then whenever I run into you,
Right.
I start remembering. I'm just like, oh my God.
You're pulling that book off that shelf.
But the first time I saw this podcast, randomly y'all were talking about this song that you wrote on that tour that we were on about circumcision.
Yes.
And the blowback
Were
from
you
that.
there that day?
I was there. I was there in that dressing room.
Did I tell it accurately?
You told it completely accurately, and I thought it was just hilarious because at the time I was just like red faced, like holding myself, just shaking, and it was like a church laugh. Like I'm not supposed to be laughing right now, and I'm looking around at all these guys. I'm 17, but like Louie's 45 and Billy Smiley's 47. Like. The older gentlemen in the room did not appreciate
They
this
didn't
song
like it at all.
because it was pitched as a praise and worship song that y'all would like to present to the group. One of the last days of the tour,
Yes, it was.
and y'all sold it. I mean, you sold it,
And they bought it.
I was even just like, oh, I'm tired of praise and worship songs right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not totally into this, but whatever. You guys go ahead, and y'all started singing. I was just like. And I'm just like hiding in the corner laughing.
Because and Orrin and I were dying because we actually did know what the chorus was.
Yeah.
But before we got to it, there was already people like,
Oh,
they
yes.
were committed.
Oh, and it like, yeah. And I think that's what did it.
And it
I
made
think
them
that's what,
feel
like,
even
they were just like hands in laps
And then walk out.
scowls on
Like-
faces. They were not pleased with you, but I was very pleased with you.
Oh my God.
It was so
I was
bad.
like, if you hadn't won me over, you did right
You
then.
did then. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I can't remember what city we were in, but I do remember
I don't
just being
either.
like, "Wow, that is just brilliant."
Yeah.
That it was like something that I felt like I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
It was something that was like Jackass before Jackass.
Right?
It was like we're
That's Dan.
we're going to make you think that this is happening, and then you're going to commit to this happening, and then we're going to switch it on you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And nobody knows what he's going to do next.
It
it
was
was-
so good.
I was even kind of like halfway through it. Like I shouldn't have done this. After all
pleases
the-
me so much to hear you say.
It's true. After all the shit we pulled on that tour anyway, I figured if I'm going to interrupt everybody's prayer time to announce that I'm going to sing a praise song, like surely they know I'm going to be shitty.
They'll stop me.
Yeah, they're going to stop me or whatever. And so when we did it, we just thought, well, they're going to wait for the gag because it's me. They know I'm going to be messing with. We were always messing with people. Like when all the buses would park together, they'd only be like a foot apart, and then people would scurry between our bus and Petra's bus.
Y'all were in that purple RV,
and we would honk at them with that air horn. They would literally bounce back and forth like a pinball. Billy, Smiley, all of them. They hated us. They hated us.
It's like I just had to go see the cardiologist. Sorry, Johnny Q. Public.
Yes, we even would tell guys. Brian Duvall, he's like the nicest guy in the world, right? He would
Brian
actually
Duvall was your drummer?
the drummer, yeah. He would actually tell people, like he would lean out the window and be like, "Hey, we've been hearing a squeak under the front driver tire. Could you look under there and see if you see anything?" And
my God.
Somebody from White Hart or Petra, somebody, they'd get down on their hands and knees and get their head all the way up under our bus, and we would hit the air horn.
I did not know.
You could hear their head hit the bottom bumper like boom, and man, they would come up like
You guys were assholes.
for sure. So that happened throughout the whole tour. So when Orrin and I said we were going to play a praise song, I think I even thought like they know we're probably up to something.
Right.
But instead,
Here it goes.
they were all committed. There was hands raised. People were like, "Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord."
And it's like, what? Wait, what?
I want to be circumcised today with a flint knife. Please take what you need. That's when they walked out.
That's the sentence I remember the most. Take what you need. I was just like, oh my God, they're joking.
I'm praying and I'm asking on bended knee.
This didn't make it to the album, did
They're
it?
just leaving the room.
This didn't make it to the album.
No, it didn't.
No,
Yeah.
surprisingly, when I listened to that second album, it wasn't there.
Why isn't it
It's like-
there?
I was like rewinding the first track. Like maybe.
Is there a secret track?
Maybe.
Maybe it's a
Maybe
secret
there's
track.
another.
It's another secret
That's
track.
another thing I had never. Okay, so that the hidden track on your first album.
Yeah.
Never before and never after have
Yeah.
I seen that happen. So one time, for the listener that doesn't know,
Right.
one time our Johnny Q. Public CD was skipping, and all of a sudden there's this song we've never heard. That's how we found it. We had no
Just
idea.
skip to it.
What
and
just
then,
happened?
And then like we let it play out, and then the first song started, and so my brother Benjamin figured it out. He's like, "Oh my God,
It's
they put the
before the
hidden track
first
before
song?
the first one." So I don't even know how you did it. I don't even know how that.
I actually don't either. We
Is it Joe Baldridge thing?
our
But-
producer did all that. He
But was
figured
that
out.
the intention? Like you,
Yeah.
you wanted to figure out how to.
Yeah, it was mastered to where the CD starts at Preacher's Kid, and that song's before it. I don't have any idea how they did it.
But how do you have to rewind to get it?
Yeah, right when you put the CD in, you let it start, then you hit the rewind button, and all of a sudden you'll hear. Blah, 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 and it's
Yeah.
like shit. There's a whole song in front of the first song.
Yeah, not the back button, but the rewind.
Yeah,
button.
Rewind
the
button.
On a CD.
button, yeah.
Because the back button will do shit.
Yeah, you can't just go to the front of the hidden
So
song.
what happens now on like Spotify or something?
You can't do it.
Yeah.
And if you put it on vinyl, can't do it.
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it.
It was I mean,
Completely unique to digital.
It really was brilliant.
It was wild. Yeah, it got talked about so much.
yeah.
It's
And
still talked about. There was just like a thread.
We've talked about it a few times on this show.
I know,
even.
but there was like a thread on some Christian music, and
Oh,
somebody
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"Oh, what about
Here's
the
how
hidden
you do
track
it.
on-"
Here's how you do it.
Yeah, just some random Christian, like surviving '90s Christian music or something.
Yeah,
What is
one
that
of those,
group you're in?
Saving 90s.
Surviving. I think the word is surviving.
Yeah.
I'm in
Facebook.
that group.
Are you in that group?
Or survivors.
Yeah,
Survivors of
90s Christian music,
Christian-
survivors or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, and there was some sort of thread there, and somebody tagged you actually.
Yeah, Joe Baldridge figured that out. I don't have any idea.
And you
it
actually-
really was impressive.
That's crazy.
At the time, we knew this is very intelligent to have done this, because we had listened to that album thousands of times.
Yeah.
We had listened all the way through thousands of times,
If
and
it's-
all of a sudden there is something new.
Something new. Oh my God.
And it was just because we had not put it in its case.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's how you found it.
That is, yeah.
It's like, this is the CD. We
But
haven't heard this song.
So it's not in the liner notes or anything.
No,
There's no
no,
credits,
no.
nothing.
No.
And
No, it
what's-
was a total surprise.
And what song is it?
It's Father Abraham.
Yeah. You both said it at the same
We
time.
recorded it the same night we did Bald Women.
Yeah, it was like,
Women
Bald
of Zion.
Oh
Bald
my
Women.
God.
Women of Zion. It was the same session, which was just a single mic in the middle of the room.
Bald Women, another one that pisses everybody off.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's even
I,
getting
Not him.
worse.
I loved it. I loved it. And I was super religious at the time.
Yeah.
I was super religious. Like, but I absolutely loved it. I was just like, yes.
That's the thing about it. Their music. Most of his lyrics were like, "This is straight from the Bible."
You
This
don't-
is
Don't
like,
get mad at me.
What's wrong? You don't like the Bible?
You don't like the Bible,
This person might have a demon. This person who doesn't like the Bible,
right?
That's what always made it tough for him because, of course, there were people who didn't like it. But
And they're
it's like,
looking. They're
I'm just singing a verse out of the Bible.
oh, it is there,
Oh man,
asshole.
It's in Isaiah somewhere, I think.
we can't yell at him for that.
Damn it.
Y'all stop using God's words.
That's right. Stop it. Well, they're written.
That'd be a great whole record. Just write stuff. Find the dirtiest, craziest shit out
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
Bible,
yeah.
and then write songs
Yeah,
about it.
go to the Old Testament. There's a lot of good stuff there.
Just
So
Noah.
and so spilled his seed on the ground.
He's like, "Excuse me, wait,
I'm
what?"
gonna write a song
Noah's
about
like
that.
fucking his daughters and shit. Everyone would be like, "That's a horrible song." It's like, it's the Bible.
It's in the
Yeah.
Bible, and that's the album cover.
Hey, y'all better be nice to your slaves.
Jesus,
Sorry, I'm just writing biblical things.
this is
Yes.
biblical. It's
This is
totally from the Bible.
Biblically themed.
Don't even stop me. Jared just popped in earlier. He was when you talked about dry humping Orlando Bloom. He goes, "I'm jealous as fuck,"
Oh,
and he
you
goes,
haven't done it? I thought everybody did.
and he goes, "Orlando swoon."
Orlando Swoon.
He's a bit of a cutie,
Ah.
that Orlando guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you meet Johnny?
I did.
Yeah?
Very briefly, like on the set. Mm-hmm. I swear to you, this sounds like fiction, but so we would wait sometimes for an hour for the principals to show up
Sure.
on a pirate boat.
Damn,
like
that's cool.
literal pirate ship. You know, there was nothing fake about it. It's been put out in, deep in the harbor so that yeah, and they would bring him out on like a motorboat, bring him out to the boat and he would already be in character, and it would be clear because he's literally standing like Captain Morgan on his way to us. We're just like, and seriously, we're like, there's Johnny.
Yeah.
He's just, I'm like, excuse me, Captain Jack.
Right.
There is no Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny.
No, he would come out like that, but he was really nice. He would he'd come out, do his lines, and in between lines, turn around. How you doing?
That's nice.
Yeah. Oh, he was.
He didn't have to.
No,
That's
no.
cool.
He was. He didn't seem pretentious. He seemed very, like into his part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not like he.
It's been said many times, like he lived the part until the movie was done.
Yeah, I think that you'd have to. Yeah.
Yeah. I could've-
Speaking of Johnny, I need to make a pint.
I did I talked to Jeffrey Rush one night. There was
Oh,
there
yeah.
was a rap party, and I went up to him and I told him I love the movie Shine, and he said, "Oh, a lot of people have daddy issues." Like boom, like off the top of his head, like he was waiting for somebody to come tell him that they love Shine, and I was just like, nope, well. No, not.
Yep. All right.
I don't
my
think I have
God.
daddy issues, but
like-
I did love that movie.
But then you're like, do I? Do I need to talk about this? Like, no, I don't think so. It's he gave me the speech about not pursuing music, but I don't think I have.
Just answer just like that.
That's great. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Shine is great though.
It is. I want to see it again. I saw it a
It's been a
long
long
time
time,
ago.
yeah.
I want to see it again.
what a good movie!
Yeah, a lot of good movie. That's
A
good.
lot of good movie.
A lot of good.
Oh, how we doing? Where we at?
I mean, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah?
I mean, I could go with this guy for
I know
hours,
we
but
could
we
go
probably.
freaking
We
all
can go.
night.
I mean, as long as I can take a bathroom break,
Right.
Yeah.
We can go all night.
So
Yeah.
that's a cool thing. We've been we're at a little over 2 hours.
That's not too bad.
Do you want to take a quick potty break?
Can we do that?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's take a break.
Take a quick
You
potty
can go
break.
see if you can find Guilty Conscience.
I will find Guilty Conscience and
which is a song I talked
tell
about.
them about
Matt.
the markers for the bathroom.
Well, yeah, if you want to just you go in there and go left, it's obvious that's the first
I think
door.
I left the light on.
Okay. And then there's like some Sharpies on the
In the
vanity.
where the toothbrush is,
Where the
there's a
toothbrush is on.
Sharpie, a silver Sharpie.
If something comes to you, you'll see.
You'll see the scribbles on the
everybody-
wall.
Everybody
Looks
writes
like
on the walls. there.
Outland's freaking. I'm gonna look for.
It's not like Outlands.
No,
That's
it's
the
not.
Whole point.
I know. I was just being facetious. So I'm gonna put the support the show shit up here. Well, I'm looking for Guilty Conscience because we're gonna go back to the song pull idea that Dan was talking about. This is on YouTube, right, babe?
No, just go to my iTunes and go
Oh,
to
I got
all my
you.
rowdy friends. Or actually, you can
Yeah.
search Song Pull Volume 1.
Okay. I'm gonna do that while there's a potty break being done, and then I will take a potty break, and I'll put his
And this is the song I was talking about. Matt Long wrote in his car on his way to my house
for song pull.
without rehearsing it. He just performed it all out of his head. I mean, not this particular recording of it, but
It's not in alphabetical order.
Song Pull Volume 1 is a record that you can search for first.
Oh, okay. Because I was just doing all my rowdy friends. There's no song pull.
It's a record, babe. It's not in that playlist. It's not in that playlist. Like the main iTunes library.
Song pull volume.
1.
I'm looking. There it is.
See if it'll play. It might be in.
So I want to make sure everybody can hear it.
Yeah, that's actually.
I don't hear it. Wait, I hear it, but it's not.
That's playing on the computer.
Yep.
Which might be fine.
Are we hearing?
You're hearing the computer speaker.
Right. I don't think it's playing through the.
Which is fine. Maybe you just turn it up. Yeah, fucking just do that.
All right.
But rewind it.
All right. This is a song pull song we mentioned. Here we go. And we're going to start it over. And yes. We will be right back, by the way. We're not done. We're going to be right back.
Lay beside your guilty conscience. If there's no one around and there's no one watching but your guilty conscience catching up. Baby, still I'm the one.
They're still outside, so I might play another Matt Long song.
I remember
There we go.
walking on abandoned bridges. I can feel the pavement under my feet. I wish that I'd have lived out every single moment. I could spend a lifetime trying to repeat. I remember
I'm guessing they're just going to stay outside and hang out, but I'm with you guys. We're coming back soon, playing some Matt Long music.
riding through the one floor, splintered and worn. I wish that I could burn it so I won't have to hate it. I won't have to see it anymore. Life is standing still. I won't change time, but I will. And you know it's true. And you can feel it in your bones. Oh, and I know it's true. And I can feel it in my bones. Oh, I remember every single kiss that I could spend my lifetime dreaming of.
Oh, Matt Long's so good. These are songs that were kind of, well, I don't know if that one was, but this song pull was a thing from 2006. If you go to YouTube, you can actually find some song pull videos on YouTube, and they were amazing from 2006 to 2007. I don't know, 6 or 8 months during that year of 2006. And it's very, very interesting. And we've been threatening to start doing some more song pulls. I've been nagging Dan to keep doing some more song pulls. And I think it would be very, very successful and very wonderful. So, hey guys! Marco, Polo,
What?
you guys ready?
Yeah, we're having a good time.
You're not like popping some squares and doing some idiocracy movie watching out there.
We might.
Wait, are we popping squares?
I don't know. I wish.
Remind me again what popping squares is.
Yeah, some little edible stuff, some
Oh.
yumminess.
Oh,
So I wanted to show. I want to download this picture, but I think it's actually better just to show Randall. So one of our friends snapped this snapshot from the show tonight,
That's me, right?
No. It's Dan with his minky ears behind him.
I moved them.
You see the ears behind him? They're
What?
they're right there.
They were up here.
Oh my God.
Right.
We're up here.
Oh wow.
And so then when the camera was on me,
Oh my God.
Yeah. So she's like, "Oh my gosh, they're like perfectly aligned." I'm just gonna.
so that's why in the
so
middle of the
good.
in the middle of the show earlier, I got up and I moved
I
my
saw you do that, and I didn't know why.
because they had texted me directly and they were like, "Your ears are kind of."
Hilarious. It's kind of perfect, and I was like, I loved it like that. Not that I did it on purpose, but anyway. So somebody asked if you had a megapint with Johnny when you were on the set.
Yeah.
What's that?
Did you have a mega?
Did you have a megapint with Johnny on the
Oh,
set?
I gotcha. Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
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 Bummer.
No, actually, I smoked cloves, and over there they were very expensive to find. I couldn't find any cloves.
Ah.
I couldn't find any cloves, and so I got like some other cigarette, and I heard Johnny smoked cloves.
Oh.
Like that was all he smoked, and it was all I smoked because I hadn't like switched to cigarettes yet. Because cloves lead to cigarettes, everybody knows, right?
It's your way of thinking you're not a smoker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
cloves.
No, it's a clove.
It's air freshener.
Yeah, basically that's the smell you smell. And so I was just, I was hoping to hit it off. with
Like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
like look at me, I'm doing the same
So-
as you.
Well, no, just so that I could get one of his, because I was out. I was hoping that maybe
Figured
we'll
he had
become good
some.
friends, and like best case scenario, I can get a clove from him,
Right.
like just last me the rest of the time, one clove.
So nothing about the movies. The movie bug didn't bite you being an extra.
No, I don't think the movie bug bites you when you're an extra, because it's not. It's
not
not.
fun.
No, it's terrible.
It's a lot of waiting.
Terrible. So the only way here's how I ended up there. I had a friend. I lived in Orlando at the time. I had a friend I hadn't seen in a long time. One of my only friends that I talked to on a regular basis. So I was just like, this is kind of important. I need to have like friendships.
I need to have like friendships and stuff.
And so I called him. I was like, "Hey, man, you're my friend." He's like, "Yeah, I'm your friend." I was like, "So, what are you doing today? Let's meet up for coffee." He's like, "Well, today I have, I'm standing in line for an audition." He was like, model guy.
Okay.
So he said, "I said, well, how long will you be there?" He said, "Man, I'm going to be in this line for hours. It's like a big one." He said, "Come, bring a couple coffees and we'll do it here." I was like, "That is perfect."
Yeah.
So I did. I brought coffees and and I thought this is great because this has got to be lame, with
Right.
just standing in this line that wraps around, blocks.
Nice.
So we had this great conversation. Then we get to the end of the line, and they say, "Do you have a headshot?" And I'm getting ready to tell him bye
Right.
because I know that we're there. We're at
Right.
the door, and they say, "Do you have a headshot?" And I said, "No, I'm not here for." And they said, "Well, you can go straight ahead, and they'll just take a headshot." And I was like, "No, I'm not here.
I'm just
for that,"
hanging with my friend.
And Rory was like, "No." Rory was like,
Go ahead,
"Cut me on the
do
back,
it."
like go." And so I went, and they took a picture of me, and so I was married at the time. When I got home, I told her, "Hey,
I accidentally auditioned.
and so I don't know. I might be getting a call here in a minute, So I knew I wouldn't. I knew, I was like, I wasn't. It wasn't interesting to me.
Right.
I also thought it was like some sort of taking pictures type modeling. I
Right.
was just like, "Ugh," I could never.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I get a call in like a week. In a week, I get a call and they say, "Hey, you auditioned for this, part as an extra."
You're like, no, I didn't.
And I was just like, "What?" And then, they explained it to me, and it took me back to that day, and I was like, "Oh yeah." And I probably thought like, they call you to tell you no,
Right.
Right.
So I got the spot. I called my friend immediately, just like, "Hey, Rory, you get the call?" And he's like, "No." And I'm just like, "Hold on a second. I just got the call. So just sit by your phone. It's coming."
Yeah.
I'm thinking like like I got it.
So you
My
had to.
model friend's gonna get it,
Right.
You know? No, like we pretty much weren't friends after that. Like I didn't hear from him much after that. Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. But I got to go and.
But you got to go,
Yeah.
and you're an extra.
But it was terrible. It
Really?
was terrible. I hated it. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool because I knew. These are stories.
Mm-hmm.
I have like some pretty crazy like stories to tell my
fantastic story.
kids. You
Yeah.
know, it was like a 20-hour day, maybe 19-hour
wow.
day, and everybody wanted to party in between. Like
Right?
once you got off, everybody was just like, "Hey, let's go back." So you would get off. You would get off on the set, and you would drive 45 minutes down like dirt roads in a communal bus to your hotel. That's your hotel commute
And where was this?
in the Bahamas.
Bahamas. Okay.
And so I think it was like whatever Grand Island or whatever the bigger island is called, something like that. So you would take that 45-minute commute to go to sleep. You know that you've got 5 hours till you got to be back because it was like sun up, and after sundown. Everybody wanted to go back to where we were, which is where the bars were, and go party and then go back. So there was no sleep to be had.
Right.
And then you're standing in the sun in like layers and layers of thick garments.
Wool.
Yeah, in the Bahamas, like you're in the sun on a boat and there's no place to pee.
Yeah.
Right.
And they've put it on you to just figure that out yourself. So you'd figure out a way down to the water, which there is a way down to the water inside the boat,
Right.
and you would pee into the water, and then
Oh,
go
my
back
goodness.
up and yeah, just waiting for principals.
Oh God.
Glamorous.
Yes. So glamorous being
Yeah.
in a movie.
Yeah.
That's so cool though. But you were there. Like
Yeah, but I was
by accident.
I was present.
You didn't even
I got
mean
to
to.
have catering with, an eye shot of principals.
And you
Yeah.
dry humped Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, and I sure did.
I sure did.
To the point that I had a bruised pelvis the next day. I mean, just knocking him around the dance floor. That last bit's the wine talking.
That's right. It's awesome. So there's a Facebook post that I noticed while we were on break from our good friend Cindy Lucas. She posted this, and I'm gonna screen share it right now. And she says she just said, "It is Steve."
Steve.
So she's got the lyrics to Another One Bites the Dust,
Yeah.
and she made a post out of it.
It's Steve.
Well,
Steve walks warily down the street.
That's what I was going to say. The thing about Steve is he walks warily.
He
does.
walks very warily.
Steve walked
I like that.
down the
That's bigger.
street.
Yeah.
Now I can't. Steve walk where? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Steve walks warily down the street.
I've never known that.
Yeah.
Did you know that when you did karaoke?
I had no idea.
Makes you sing it different.
Yes,
Makes you
it
sing it differently. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Steve walks warily down the street. Now I know.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I'm just bringing knowledge.
That's right.
Which
You
is
are
funny because
educating
if I
us.
was going to sit down and start, if we were going to finish this show tonight, maybe Randall and I are going to write a song together.
Right.
I would be totally embarrassed to be like, "Hey, keep playing that. How about Steve walks warily down the street?
Wow, that's an
a
opening
great
line.
lyric.
Yeah, and you would just be like,
No.
Dan, be serious. Come on, we're trying to write a song. I'd be like, no, I want to write Steve walks warily down the street.
Unless I did whatever one of those other three gentlemen did.
That's right.
Or those other four gentlemen did and said, wow, hold on a second. I think you might have something there.
Yes.
Do that again and give me that rhythm. Steve walks where. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
You talk
Steve
about-
is the first word of this song.
You talk about your musical brothers believing in you.
Yeah.
I mean, for them to just let him sing that and not give him shit about it.
But I think that's like what we've been talking about the whole time. That's all about the sell. For
Yes.
me, I have to like print out a whole version on a listenable device.
Yeah.
That where you can hear what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Freddie would deliver it. Just be like, no, hold on a second. Steve walks warily down the street with the brim pulled wet on low.
Does he
You're just like,
mention
woo.
Steve the rest of the song?
Where'd you get the drums, Freddie? How you do that?
So
You're just
true.
like, "Ba, ba, 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 ba."
So true.
Holy shit.
Julia Drake Kopp says,
It's about to sell.
hashtag what's my husband's name? Told you so. Her husband's
Steve.
Steven.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could have told you that.
Totally. Right. Yep. Uh-huh. So is Steve mentioned anywhere in the song after that?
No.
Right.
Nope.
So we're just talking about Steve. Did he die? Like, is
Steve must have bit the dust.
Well,
Right.
okay. So Steve, I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay, tell us a story.
Steve walked warily down the street with the brim pulled way down low at the top. And then there wasn't any sound but the sound of his feet. Mm-hmm. But machine guns were ready to go.
Okay.
And then it kind of gets fuzzy. I can't even remember the lyrics right
Are you
now.
ready? Are you ready for this?
Are you ready?
Are you
think.
ready? Are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of
Are
your
you
seat?
hanging? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So he's about to tell you. He's about to tell you what's going on. Because, yeah, it's pretty suspenseful.
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
All right. Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? All right, well, good. Then you're in the right place.
We are. We're totally on the edge of our seat.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not going to remember the lyrics when I'm talking them.
Right. Right.
Talking him is so different than singing, though.
Out of the bullets. Out of the doorway. Out of the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
The bullets rip. To the sound of the beat. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The wine is telling me I'm not, but I...
There's to the sound of the beats. Yeah.
Yeah. No. There's the affirmative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And then
what I
it's
said.
and then it's another one bites the dust. So I have a quick, really awful story about this song. So when I was in 7th grade, maybe even close to 8th grade, I went to school in Hartville, Missouri, which is east of here. It's a very tiny little town.
Okay.
I grew up in Grove Spring, which is even smaller. So Hartville is the population at the time was like 525. And I was in 7th grade, so Little Grove Spring combined with Hartville. Long story short, we combined the bands and we had concerts. So tiny school, bigger school, but still tiny. I played flute and whatever. So
And your bands, like, joined?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So the one band director, we learned this stuff in our school. They learned this stuff in their school. Then we had rehearsals together. We did a concert.
Same director?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it was one school district, but 2 separate elementaries.
That's a good way
Anyway,
of doing it.
long story short, we were learning the song "Another One Bites the Dust" in 7th grade band.
Mm-hmm.
Doo, 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 doo. Okay, so you know how shitty that could be. And lo and behold, there's this freaking triple murder in our town where some guy goes home and murders his brother,
Oh, my God.
his stepmom, and his stepsister, and tries to murder his dad and doesn't do it. In 1983 in Hartville, Missouri, the dad got the shotgun away from the kid. He spent years in jail, was just released in 2020, just FYI.
Wow.
2 years ago.
Due to a technicality about how a 16-year-old shouldn't serve life in prison, even though he just murdered his entire family. So anyway, Emma was the stepsister, and she sat right next to me playing flute, and we were learning this song. And our band director so sweetly said to the concert crowd, this was Emma's favorite song. Another One Bites the Dust.
Oh, my God.
Not kidding. Totally. And here we are. Like, this was Emma's favorite song, and she was just
wow.
murdered as a 13-year-old child. And it
She
was,
turns around, she's like, no pressure, kids.
yeah. But the band director had no idea what she said. It was literally one of Emma's favorite songs. But when she
But
said
it's
that,
also called Another One Bites the Dust.
exactly, the whole crowd was just
It was one of those religious killings. The kid
yes.
killed his family because he was wanting to save him.
1984 was happening soon.
Save him from the.
Oh, my
Yes,
God.
he was
The
trying to
oncoming,
save them
you know.
from the big Jesus is coming, so I'm going to save them first idea.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, the last name was Carr. You can look it up. It's you know.
That's like, that reminds me of I do a lot of true crime podcasts.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
The John List story.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. Like, he was basically saving his whole family.
Yeah.
And he
from-
covered them all up. He had their
from
little
sin.
yeah, exactly. And this is it's very similar to that. And his
Saving
name was-
them from
I'll just
sin.
say it. His name was Jason Carr. You might be watching. I don't know. But he was released in March of 2020 due to a technicality. He is probably 54 right now, years old.
Wow.
And he was like 17 when this happened. My brother was best friends with the kid, his brother he killed. And it was a very small town. I listened to a podcast called Small Town Murder.
Mm-hmm.
Do you listen to that
I
one?
know the one. Yeah.
Love that one. And
I've been. That's the one I've been on.
really?
I've been on, as in they mentioned. They mentioned the band because of a small town that we played in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did they?
They're just like, the biggest things that go on here are like festivals, and
Yeah,
they named a
and they
festival
make
I
fun
played,
of
and
it.
they like there's like which the headliner is, and they named
And they always
me
make
and the
fun.
band. Thankfully, they skipped over because I don't think I had been a listener,
Right.
So I was just like, oh my god, he's
Yeah.
about to just destroy.
Yes, 'cause that's what they do.
My name.
Yeah.
And and he just like skipped over it. I was
Nice.
like, cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But then you're
I
going.
was on the podcast.
But he
Wait.
did say
Like
Randall Shreve.
my heart slowed down. Yeah, he said Randall Shreve in the sideshow. He's like, that's the headliner, and then you could tell he just had nothing. He moved on.
I listened to every episode, and I didn't hear that. I heard Norman Jackson.
Do you remember which town it
It's
was?
Reeds Spring, Missouri.
Oh, nice.
Reeds Spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check that one
Check-
out. Like,
Anyway.
I mean,
hilarious.
there were only like 98 people in that town.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like the 99th person was murdered.
Murdered. But I wrote in about
it
this
should be easy to
particular
find.
murder story back in 1983. I wrote in, and they haven't done it yet, but because they like small towns, and this is like an extremely small town, and it's a crazy story.
And
Yeah.
they haven't done.
No,
Wow.
I haven't heard it yet, so I don't know if they're in the works. They haven't responded to my email or anything, so I might write them again.
Jerks.
Jerks.
It was just
Jim-
amazing to me that there's that much material for a place
I know.
called Small Town Murder.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so. I can think of 3 murders off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That happened in a town of population 410.
Yeah.
Or at least the surrounding area.
And
Right,
their
right.
stipulation is 30,000 or less. 30,000 to me is not a small town. My town of 525 is
right.
small.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we should start a murder mystery, whatever, true crime podcast that's extra small. town
Tiny.
murder.
Tiny town
so
murder.
here. We could call it actual small town.
Actual small town
murders.
murder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
500 or less.
Yeah. Yep. Having nothing to do with any other podcast.
No, not at
That's
all.
out there now.
No.
But
No.
actual small.
Actual small town murder.
If you want to talk about small town murders,
Right.
question mark.
Yeah.
That could
That's
be
right.
like
Not medium to larger towns. No, we're talking small towns.
not county seats. We're not talking about county
no,
seats here.
no. They go off on that. They
do?
They totally go off on this is the county seat. Ooh,
yeah.
and they make fun and they're talking
Because
about
our county seat was Mena, and I only know that because Mena had 5,500 people
Oh,
when I was
right.
growing up. So
Right.
of course I would know that.
Yeah.
That's practically a metropolis. You know?
Well, our town, Hartville, was the county seat of Wright County.
It was.
Yes.
Y'all had 500 people.
We had 525 people. We were the county seat. Somehow we won over Mansfield, Ava, Conway, Mountain Grove. We were the county seat.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does that even happen? I would assume
I
the
don't know.
population.
I would think, but they're all. I think Mansfield's larger. I don't know.
Oh, if you have to say, I think Mansfield
Right.
is larger than 597 people, then it wasn't.
That it wasn't. No,
I think they had more than 600 people. No, they didn't.
no, they absolutely
They were a
didn't.
little town.
So I'm going to go to the comments here. Julia says, "I always thought Steve went down with bullets that repeated the sound of the beat." She's going back to the lyrics.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then she also comes back with, is it crass of me to mention that 2 members of my band, Bender, grew up in Reed Spring? Just checking.
Oh.
It's not.
It's not crass.
But
The
don't
plot
y'all have a
thickens.
song that you have to sing now?
Right.
What is the song?
She promotes her show on our show wherever she can. It's Julia Spam.
It is my favorite new song.
Julia Dre
awesome.
Cobb and the
She
band
really has a
Bender.
band from
Reed Spring. Apparently,
Cool.
Reed's Spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
actually
you
know
don't,
a
you don't
girl.
say Reed Springs.
No, Reed Spring. See,
They
and I
hate
grew
that,
up
especially if you have a microphone.
totally. And,
Yeah.
Yes, and I grew up in Grove Spring, Missouri, which is one word.
It's Grove Spring?
It's not Grove Springs. It's Grove Spring, one word. East of here. 100 people. I think it still has 100 people. I don't know. But it's not Grove Springs.
I feel like y'all have a lot of those, like Grove Springs, like Walnut Ridge.
Walnut Grove.
Walnut Grove. Yeah, there's
Fair
one.
Play.
There's one of these I played that had
Halfway.
walnut in it, but it whenever I told my friends around here that I was playing a place, something Walnut, they were like, is it Walnut Grove? Is it Walnut Stone? Is it like they had a whole bunch of them. So it was one of them. I drove out there and like followed these directions. My phone didn't work anymore. And they had warned me ahead of time, take a screenshot. So I was like, what am I getting into? Yeah. And I drove out deep into the woods and then got out and played in the woods thinking, okay, this is it. This is how I go. Like
I'm done.
I'm really like
I'm hearing banjos.
This is wow. My guitar is gonna be my fighting chance.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna be swinging this beautiful guitar at people. They were the greatest people.
Yeah.
You know, turns out, thank that I'm still here.
Right.
This could have gone one of two ways.
Yes. Yes.
But,
Grove Spring Walnut Grove.
I can't remember what it was, but I think that had like walnut in it. I think.
Yeah.
Tara and I got asked Boot. I was just telling you on the porch about this little duo that we have called Boot, and we just do whatever original stuff.
A lot of
I play-
originals, but some covers.
And so at one time we were kind of like advertising that we're willing to do shows anywhere. Like it doesn't have to be a venue. We'll do house shows, you know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And we had this guy hit us up on our page. He was like, "Hey, I do this like this hangout every year, and I'd love to have you guys be the music for the hangout." We were like, "Okay, you know, sounds good." And he's like, "Well, I'll send you some footage of where we're going to do it this year." Blah blah blah. It's like, okay. So a couple hours later, he sends like 6 videos, and he's literally walking through these like 4 foot tall like weeds and into the trees, and then it kind of clears out where there's like this sand and there's a river, and he's walking around showing like this is where it's going to be great. We'll probably set you guys up over there, and then that's where we put the beer tub over there. You can park your trucks. If you look back over there, you can park your trucks back there. A lot of people camp over there, and we're like, what the
It's
hell?
like, do you have electricity out
Yeah.
here? Like, what is?
Well,
Subject
someone will
line
have.
is this cool? Sometimes I just look up, is this cool? And it's like, what was that place?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if we should pursue this or not.
I think we ended up just saying like we have another date.
Oh, I think
We
that
should
you
have done
must.
it.
You
We should have
must,
done
unless
it.
you're tired.
Right?
Don't do it if you're tired.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. But,
Oh my god.
but like,
He was serious, too.
Sometimes I'll take those things on just like what's
Just,
this
we
gonna
have
be
to
like?
do this.
Yeah.
Like,
I played back in the day when I first played music. I had in the first band I was in. There was some sort of I think the first Gulf War was going on. So in 93, 94,
Okay.
whatever. And so some guy he just returned from there or something. And this was his like celebration party or something.
Oh, cool.
So it was like, yeah, I'll fucking play that. Absolutely. And it was on a flatbed trailer, but one of those tiny ones, like an 8x14.
Oh, yeah.
With the
Yeah.
wheel wells. So my monitor's up on the wheel well.
like
I got
a dually can pull this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got a cymbal.
played these.
I got cymbals right here. I try to put my keyboard here, and the cymbals for the drums are right here. Anyway, and it was like, oh, what the fuck is? They had a generator, like not very far away either. It was like like
Oh yeah.
louder than our shit. And I sang the national anthem first, of course, and then so all these little kids had their red, white, and blues, and this guy comes out, and he wasn't injured or anything. He was just back, and everything was great, awesome, great. Then we played our set, and it was the best time. It was in the middle of a field, in the middle of no fucking where, like Ash Grove or Fairplay or someone north of here, and it was just the best time. Bolivar. It was north of Bolivar. Anyway.
I know Bolivar.
But it was just one of the greatest times ever. And at first, when we drove up, it was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, some
And
of those.
They had amazing food. They had drinks for us and
yeah.
everything, and it was just fan-frickin-tastic. And the
Yeah.
generator was great, even though it was loud. It was great.
Well, when looping, when I hear generator, when somebody says generator, I have like I get triggered. And I'm just like, hold on a second. Generator, what kind of generator is it?
Right.
I got to look this up. I got to look at the reviews of this thing,
Needs the
Because,
sw-
like with looping, if you have a generator going in the background, by the time you've done the first loop, it's by the time you've done the third one, it's like you want things quiet. And so Yeah, generators are a bit of a nightmare. Yeah. But they've improved their game over the years.
They have, and especially if they put them a little farther away from right next to the stage.
See, perfect. Run an extension cord.
Dude, but you're in the middle of a field somewhere.
So good.
I want to get back to the looping thing, but real quick. But so Julia also says 2 of her band members are from Reed Springs, she got it correct. One's from West Plains, one from Springfield, and me from Odessa, Missouri. Springfield brings people together and makes awesome bands. That's what she says. Then she also says, wait, if I pay for a house show at my house, will you also give us an estimate on my Murphy bed that I'm wanting in the bookshelves while you're here?
We could do that.
She's been talking to us.
Free estimate with
She's been talking to us about doing some Murphy beds. And
We could do that, yes.
You gotta put
Absolutely.
that on concert photos.
Right. Totally.
And free estimates.
Right.
In case you're...
Here's us playing music, but
Yeah.
then free estimates
Yeah.
on a Murphy bed.
Original music and Murphy beds.
Yep.
That's right. So looping. So this is a whole thing that I know nothing about. I've seen it many
Same.
times.
Yeah.
You know plenty about it. You little so and so. So you do like full on drums, guitar, bass, even keys. You do keys too, right?
Sometimes.
Some keys.
Not often.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's like a whole
I'm just waiting
looping.
for a van. So I can put it... If I have a van, I can put one of these in the van.
There you go. Right. So how'd that come about to start looping?
Well, my brother is the first one that started looping, and he did back in the maybe 2001.
Before it was cool?
Yeah, I felt like
Before Ed Sheeran did?
Yeah. But I felt like technology wasn't there yet, and we used it a little bit with the band that we were in, where we would use a click. I would give him the the tempo, and he would work out a loop, and we would play along with it, and the click kept everything kind of in control. Still felt the technology wasn't quite there, and maybe we just weren't utilizing it properly. But he revisited it maybe 7 years ago, and he was the one who showed me, like, oh no, it's here. Like now they've made it to where it's possible to be more than one person, and so he was doing that for at least a year before I even tried it. But when we played a show together, and I saw how far it had come for him, and I was just like, I immediately saw like all the the possibilities that are at least where I am now with him.
And now it's a regular part of your show.
It
Your
is a
solo
regular part of my show,
Do you-
and the whole point, honestly, from the beginning for me was just people want 3 hours on any night. That's what it seemed like people were willing to pay for. Mm-hmm. So I need to be able to do 3 hours that aren't miserable for me and that keep people entertained.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's like the looping thing. I do enjoy it, and it's been another learning experience. But it means to an end, and that end being just playing songs with me and a guitar. That's all I really want.
Right.
But people don't want to listen to that for 3 hours, and venues don't want to pay for less than 3 hours.
Right.
As far
So you
as
just
like
change it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I added instruments, added more instruments, and then I'm like, once I changed kind of my idea to, that's the way things are going to be. I'm going to do this so that I can do, basically play ballads on a guitar. After that, it turned into, well, now I want to add a ukulele, so I got to learn ukulele, and now I want to, most recently I want to add a mandolin, so I got to learn mandolin. So it's just like not having to work a job, that doesn't allow me to play music the whole time.
Right.
has,
Right.
Has allowed me to just, always focus on music in one way or another.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you play with your band, you don't do looping, right? It's just strictly a band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the band is my number one way of doing things. That's what I would do every time. If it wasn't like the band just brings the cost up so much because
Certainly.
I don't want to pay my guys terribly and they would like we all just want to play music,
Right.
and so the band plays. When the album comes out, I think we'll play a lot more regularly. It'll be that our season again to play more together. But yeah.
Do you find yourself kind of doing almost identically the same loops from show to show to show? As far as like, if you're going to do this one particular song, do you kind of do all your parts pretty much the same, but you're still building that song for that particular show? Or do you kind of fuck with yourself and be like, tonight I might do and you hadn't done that before? Or do you mess with yourself, or do you just kind of like, I know how to build this track because it's going to be this drum part, this guitar part?
Yeah. No, I think that's a good way of putting it. Do you mess with yourself? I do mess with myself.
Right.
I do have to, first of all, it's like the first stage of any night, whether it's a 2-hour night, 1 hour night, 2, 3, 4. The first stage of the night is getting all the early stuff off, Right. Sometimes waiting for the crowd to come in, playing throwaway songs that I'm,
Sure.
Well, I used to play this one, I'll do this one while I wait for some more people to show up.
Right.
Other times it is, well, either way, the first stage of it is kind of like always a different section than later, like for the later, 2/3 of the show, doing stuff that will kind of mess with me, like kind of either stretch me or keep me interested, or like be weird for me, like something that's interesting for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just on your own, like if you haven't done it public, on just your own, have you ever tried to, or maybe you have done it in public, have you ever tried to just purely ad lib, like a freestyle,
Like
with lyrics and everything?
Yeah, like a new song.
Yeah.
I don't think purely, no. Like stuff that I've messed with and I've thought about writing around.
Already have on your voice memos and
that's
stuff.
as close as I've got to like purely. Here's a song that that you've never heard, because like lyrics take me a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me a long time to commit to what I want to say. What I want to say in the language that everybody knows.
Yeah.
That's going to hear this. So lyrics take me a long time, and I think that keeps me from. I'll do a lot of like musical type ad lib sometimes, but not. Yeah, like a full song. Like, here's a song you've never heard. I've never heard either.
Right.
Yeah, that's not me.
Pretty gutsy.
That's not likely. Yeah, that's more gutsy than I am. I'll get it wrong. I'll sing some words that would just be like, I would like to apologize to Twitter, for these words that I sang that were posted. That's not me. That's not who I am.
Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'll just go into panic mode and just be like, "Oh, we're writing lyrics, are we, Randall?" And I'll start like talking to myself while I'm sitting there, like, "No, you're supposed to be writing lyrics. You can't fight with you right now.
You can't fight with you.
Yeah,
You can't
Just
fight
be
with
like-
you.
Stop fighting with you.
just be like." So I'll start saying terrible things and just be like, "Oh God, that's not you. Stop doing that. Apologize for that. I can't apologize for that. We're writing a song." That's more me. That's my mind and how it works when I'm on stage. Yeah. I'm really just terrified. I'm just like controlling terrified. It's like I'm flying a plane and I haven't before. But I've seen it done on a very realistic television show. That was just like, well, that's the movies, son. This is real life, and we got to land this plane.
Okay, here we go.
That's me on stage every single night, and I don't guess it will ever end. I'm always just like, well, we gotta land this, right? Don't we?
Here we go. Here we
Sorry.
go. Donnie Ray Stevens says he's watching over on YouTube.
Donnie Ray.
Donnie Ray. Do you know Donnie Ray? Donnie Ray Stevens?
I don't.
No.
He yelled Donnie Ray.
Yeah.
But I almost followed Donnie Ray.
Donnie Ray. He says, great episode, you all. Hey, Randall, love your song and video of The Entertainer. How did your love of Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, and etc. begin? See, you have a tat of Mr. Chaplin.
I do. I sure do. That's
You can
that's
do
my,
the show and tell
Here
camera.
you go. Show and tell camera. Camera 4 right there. There it is. Let me get this out of here.
Look,
There
I can
it
make
is.
him.
There it is. Look at that.
Sometimes he just pats his foot.
There it is. So yeah, so it's cool that he just saw the bottom half and he knew it was
Yeah.
Chaplin. Go ahead.
I think like anybody that has fallen in love with Chaplin, you just saw him. You just saw him, and it was just fascinating. It still is to me.
Yeah.
Like I try to show other people, and sometimes I see like it clicks for them, and other times it's just like, you know,
I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like there's so many interesting things now in the world, but to imagine that this that fascinates me and has always fascinated me was around, 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More than 100 years ago now. Yeah.
And just killing it.
No voice.
Yeah.
It was all how he acted with words on the screen.
Yeah. And as soon as he had a voice, he had a lot to say.
Yeah.
And he was so just he was eloquent, you
Yeah.
know. And he was raised in an orphanage, but he could speak all the versions of his language. All the classes of his language understood him. He just no one's moved me, I don't think, like Chaplin. Chaplin just his story gets me. It just hits me really hard, always has.
Yeah.
And then his art, just his abilities. I think like some of the most, if not all, including his autobiography, of the things that I read about him, point out there are flaws. This is a flawed human being that didn't have a lot of things right, but he was nonetheless brilliant and fascinating and inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the answer to that.
People
Yeah.
should dig a little deeper on Charlie.
Cool. He's wow.
Yeah.
He's just really. I mean, that song. I think Michael Jackson probably made it famous. If you didn't live way back and hear Jimmy Durante do it, "Smile, Smile, though your heart is crying."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Though your heart is aching. That's Charlie Chaplin wrote that. He wrote that song.
Yeah.
That classic song that Frank Sinatra's done. And, he produced it, he directed it, he wrote it, he found new talent, A lot of times he fucked the new talent he found.
Sure.
And definitely would not have survived in today's environment for sure.
Right.
But
It still goes on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
it does.
We're not kidding ourselves here.
No, for sure.
There's still girls willing. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well,
Willing and wanting. But not all of them, of course.
No, of course not. But it still goes on, and it's still a thing.
Yeah.
It's still a thing. We are getting close.
Squeeze that out.
We can take the bladder out, and we'll just squish that little plastic shit.
don't think I don't know.
Right, we know how to do the
The
box
line works.
Julia says Chaplin had an amazing rhythm to his work. He was perfectly timed entertainment. Yes.
Absolutely
Agreed. And she also says, I didn't pre-read this, doesn't matter. And the song Smile always makes me cry. I know it should make me smile, but the most beautiful melodies always bring a tear to my eyes. Yes, and that's the thing. Even if it's a happy song, if it makes you feel something, it could be tears, and that's fine. Yeah.
Well, what did Chaplin say? Something like true comedy is to take your pain out and play with it in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And that's a paraphrase, of course, but
that goes today too, because there's a lot of comics that are self-deprecating, and self-deprecating comedy is the best comedy. But these guys, the little mask, the acting, the smile, and the drama,
comedy.
the drama and comedy.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, there's a name.
Julia probably knows.
Yeah, Julia, tell us
Come on, Julia.
the masks that have the smile and the frown. Anyway,
called?
but some of the best comics are always self-deprecating, and it's like there's also, of course, there's the Judy Collins, or is it Carly Simon that
Bringing the Clowns?
Sending the Clowns.
Sending the Clowns. Yeah,
It's
Judy Collins.
Judy Collins, I think, and
They probably both did it.
and
Judy Collins is the most famous, I think.
probably did. But we are all clowns. When you talk about entertainment, we are all those people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we, despite what's going on in our world, our job is to make those people feel better. And sometimes the actual clowns, like people with the makeup and the circus, are the most miserable people on the planet. And that's why send in the clowns. Send in the clowns, because they're going to make you smile even though they're crying at home. It's interesting. The entertainment business is so full of all of us
That's why we're so good at it.
who might be going through the biggest shit in our lives, and we're still on stage putting out for you, motherfuckers. You know, and it's, on one hand, it's a little sad, and it's a little what am I looking for? It's a little taxing, but on the other hand, it also makes us feel good to know, even if we're living a miserable world, you smiled or you cried at my song. Shit, I can go home happy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, no matter what we're going through. And
yeah, it still feels like a fair exchange to me.
Yeah.
It feels like even, well, not so much on nights where they're not giving back at all, where you're not like, it doesn't feel that way then, but those nights are worth the nights where they are, where it's an energy exchange, where
you can
where you're
feel
trading.
it. I got goosebumps thinking about it. Yeah,
it's the best.
It's
where
the best.
where we've created an energy that is agreeable to us all, and we're trading it back and forth. Oh my God, that's what I live for.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Comedy and tragedy. Comedy
and tragedy. There we go.
Comedy and tragedy.
How do we not get that?
Julia, thank you, Julia. She's also our information line. So she says, to truly laugh, you must be able to take your pain and play with it. Exactamundo. That's hilarious. And that's a good place to maybe.
No, that is good.
Maybe
that's the theme of Monday Morning Medication.
Yeah.
That's what we do every Monday.
Yeah.
We do an audio only show every Monday, which is called Monday Morning Medication.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like just the two of us. It's audio only. It's like we basically take, a lot of times we're taking our own pain and pulling it out and playing with it.
Sure.
I mean, we are so self-deprecating.
Absolutely.
But that's not what the whole show is.
No,
but
we're pop culture-ish. So
yeah, we'll do stuff like that. But I mean, it's still just like, I have finally gotten to a point after so many different things that I've lived through, whether it be being in the Christian music industry and being so let down by so many things there. And
Really? It seemed like such a delightful experience to me. But yeah, no, we all have our own experience.
Continue.
we all have our. Please continue. We all
I
have
had a
our
great time, Dan,
levels.
but go ahead.
Yeah.
Divorce, just so many things. Losing friends over stories that they
Not meaning death, just people that.
No, people that are just not your friend anymore
Turn your
because
back.
they didn't even give you a chance to tell your side or anything like that. Whatever. You get to a point where it's just like, yeah, I'm not in a, trying to win friends. I'm not fishing for friends anymore. I'm just, here's kind of where I'm at. And that puts you in a place where you can pull out your mistakes. You can pull out your pain. You can pull out your things that you've done that were just absolutely maybe not good, not cool, and just laugh at them. Let people play with them. Let people have fun with them. Let people make fun of you for it. And when you can get past that, I don't know, that place where it doesn't matter to you anymore, it doesn't affect you as much as it used to back in the day when you cared
certainly.
what everybody thought of you.
And you wanted to cover everything up.
You cared so much. It's like a more beautiful version of no fucks given.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people say it simply, okay, I don't give a fuck. Let me find the fucks I give.
Busted.
Yeah. But the true meaning of somebody who really does mean that is like, no, I actually don't. I'm good. I've got some stuff. Well, I got some embarrassing pictures or stories or whatever. If you want to hear them and have fun with them, let's play with them. Just like that quote, because I'm good. Mm-hmm. And it's a freeing place to be.
It is. To be honest all the time and let everybody. There's a song I sing called Secrets, and it's from this virtually unknown girl. I can't even think of her name. Andrea Lambert or something like this. It's called Secrets. And the chorus is, I don't care if the world knows what my secrets are. And she talks about being bipolar. She talks about being, I love my butt and don't shut up. I mean, and I'm
dysfunctional. My family kills each other. And I'm an idiot.
One of my favorite songs to sing. It's a very unpopular song. It hasn't been out there very hugely. And I love singing that song because it's just like, I don't care if the world knows what my secrets are. Don't give a fuck. And that's a good place to live because when you live that way, you're being true to yourself, and you don't have to keep hiding things that are publicly seen as negative or
If you can get to a
bad.
place where
right. You have to get to that place though.
you're sound with it.
Yeah.
One of the things in the Bible that used to drive me nuts is when it said that the truth will set you free. And I'm just like, that's a bunch of horseshit. Like if your wife comes around the corner and says, "Does my butt look big in these jeans?"
Yes.
And you're like, "Yeah, it does actually."
Not gonna set
You
you
are
free.
not going to be free.
Not
not going to set
For
you
like
free.
weeks and weeks. Don't tell me the truth will set you free. And in so many other areas, that entire concept seemed to not play out in my mind until later in life when I realized what's obviously a much bigger concept than your wife's butt. It's like when you get to a point where like you can be the best truth that you are for yourself personally. Now it's like Iron Man. It's just like it doesn't. Somebody who like maybe doesn't like my music or doesn't like my haircut or doesn't like the shoes I have on. I don't.
Don't give a
I
shit.
I have finally achieved a truth.
We're
that-
finally adulting.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's an age thing. I don't know, but
But if you can instill that in people like early on, like I never would have known.
because it's very free.
It's
the
very
truth is
freeing.
very free. Once you get to a place where you know kind of what your truth
Yeah,
is,
true
it
that.
does set you free. Yeah.
Are we ready to suck the bladder out of this motherfucker?
Oh,
Getting
is it
close.
time?
It's getting
It's time.
close.
It's time to open the box. We're gonna do this box opening because you don't just push the trigger and it's done. You have
Oh,
plenty.
you got to squish that stuff.
You got
out.
plenty of
Yeah.
bladder space. What do you think about being truthful and being honest and being like your true open self? Is it? Do you believe that?
I hate it. No, I think I shouldn't do that.
Not a big fan.
No.
I never write
No,
songs
steer
that are
clear.
like that. No, I don't.
Yeah. Fiction is definitely
Fiction is way
the way
better
to go.
and easier.
Yeah. But act like it's bio.
But act like it's
biographical.
true. You see, you know what?
No, of
The
course.
people who
yeah.
live in the world of Seinfeld or something, you know.
Yeah.
Look at see how much wine is left when the box acts
Oof.
like it's empty.
I feel
I think everyone knows that.
I'm
people who throw the box away without pulling the bladder out and squeezing it. Are,
Totally.
You
That's-
need to get better wine.
you need to
What
get
are you doing?
You need to
What are you doing?
live a better life.
That's
You need to.
That's not a great person.
It's not a great person at all. That's wasteful. And it's bad for the environment.
Trying to make your audience
Terrible.
happy.
The environment hates wine.
The environment hates wine. Here, there's your platter. So yeah. Just before we get out of here. Oh, wait. We gotta call.
What do we got?
Julia.
Oh, Julia.
Frickin' Julia Drake Cobb. See, so she used to go by Julia Leigh Cobb, and Dan used to say what?
Julia Lake.
His Harry Carey
I would do
impression.
it.
Julia Lake Cobb.
That's
Yeah,
Julia Leigh Cobb. Now it's Julia Drake Cobb.
Lake.
And now there's a see? And now there's a hard consonant in there, so say it now.
Julia Drake.
It doesn't sound as
Not
good.
quite as good.
But anyway.
Julia Drake Cobb.
Right, Julia Drake Cobb.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
She says, "Hell yeah, I've learned how to deny my dorky self because it's far better than trying to be something else that ain't really me.
Yeah,
I'm
ma'am.
far more charming when I'm fully in my weirdness. 100%. Percent.
Yeah, and that's what she meant by the creep song.
Yes.
Like, no, you're so fucking special, and I'm a creep.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm not a
Yeah,
creep.
no. Okay.
I think the song's actually saying I'm not a creep. You're just a fucking idiot.
That's exactly what it's saying to me, anyway. And I like being a weirdo. Being normal sucks. Whatever normal is so overrated. Like,
I guess. Yeah.
and especially in 2022, there's no such thing as normal.
Yeah, I went super normal in like 2003.
Sure.
Not at all.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bumped right out of that.
Yes.
Like, ooh, that was a bad era.
I'm not doing that. No.
I was like 2004 will surely not be that bad.
Yeah, dude.
I went super normal.
Yeah. It's whatever normal is. supposed to
JW
be.
used to be my most favorite store on the mall.
I know. And now
Back when Miami Vice was big.
Miami Vice.
JW.
JW. Remember JW?
No.
It was a. Well, you're a few years younger than me, aren't you?
You're like 10 years younger, right? What?
No.
I'm 50.
I'm 44.
Okay.
44, so 6 years. You might have known JW back in the when
Members
like
only
Miami
jacket?
Vice.
Wait, not Jeans West.
I think it was Jeans
Is that-
West.
It was,
Oh.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
But it was the logo was just JW,
Right.
but it was Jeans
okay.
West, yeah.
Okay.
And they kind of sold the Miami Vice stuff.
The jackets with the skinny ties.
Oh yeah,
right.
back when Miami
All
Vice was
right.
big,
Roll up the sleeves.
you'd go to JW and they would have things that were kind of similar to Miami Vice.
I don't know. Is that what they sold? I think I was over at Hot Topic.
Yeah,
Look at this
Yeah.
brand new store.
right.
Badass.
Look at us
store.
with our
Yeah.
dark everything.
Yeah.
Everything's black. And our graphic tees.
No, I think literally it was Gadzooks.
Gadzooks.
Oh my God.
I think Gadzooks
I remember Gadzooks.
was the spot.
It was. That was before Hot
we didn't have a
Topic.
mall. We had to drive 80 miles to get to like a bigger
A strip mall.
Gadzooks, but we had a Gadzooks, and so we were just like,
Fucking
well,
Gadzooks, right?
yeah, county seat Mina's not all bad.
They're nice.
We got a Gadzooks.
Gadzooks.
We got a Walmart over there. Hearing rumors of a super center coming in.
When the
We got
super
a
centers hit, how
we got
about the
a Gadzooks?
how about when the super centers hit? Yeah, yeah.
How about when Walmart went from brown to blue?
Right? When they went from brown to blue, shit
That's big league. It's
was
big league stuff.
happening.
Yeah,
With
it
the-
is like BC, like
Yes, it is.
basically,
Right?
Like whenever it's how I mark time.
It's Walmart BC.
It's like well,
Walmart BB, but before blue.
Yeah, no, it's just like you basically like move things. She's like, well, no, it's like 6 years after Brown. You
Right,
know?
exactly.
Like that's where I smoked first.
That's
You know? It's like 6 years after Brown. Wait, were we in blue? Of course, yeah, we were 10
yeah,
years
we're
into
totally,
blue Walmart.
yeah, we're
Remember?
10 years into
Whenever
blue.
this happened.
We got blue in
And then-
2003.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
had the orange stripe added.
The orange stripe was stressful.
It was
the
very
star
stressful.
was stressful.
The
Yes.
star was stressful. Satanic even.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
witchcraft.
for sure.
Not satanic.
Yeah.
Witchcraft.
Fucking
Yeah,
witchcraft.
It's
Depends on which way, though.
It's all the same to me. It's all the same to me.
Those of
Man.
you who are still with us are enjoying the best part of the show right now. This is the best part of the show. Go tell your friends to watch at hour 3.2.
Oh, man. Well,
Well,
what you think?
I don't know. Oh, wait. Julia says she worked at Hot Topic in Branson for 4 years.
What?
It was
Julia!
my jam. Still love that place.
Hot
you
Topic.
would love Julia because she is like
I
her
c-
own person. You can already tell.
I know.
You can already
Yes.
tell.
Yes.
Now this girl, her and her husband, they dress up they do Renaissance festivals.
Oh.
And they fully dress.
I would've guessed.
Fully dress. I'm guessing they do cosplay like the sword fighting and shit like this. They play D&D. I'm sure.
Julia, do you all sword fight?
Right? Do you sword fight?
Keep it
Keep it like
PG-13.
actual swords.
because I don't want to know.
That's right.
But-
You asked though.
I did.
You did. You totally asked.
Just want to be clear about what I'm asking here.
So I just want to be clear also, just to reiterate again, tomorrow night, Freddie Mercury tribute at the Riff. This guy right over here.
So are you, you have to shave tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
I just it does not work with anything else that I own.
Right,
You know? Like,
right.
That's one of the hard parts about this whole thing is walking around with a mustache half the time.
Right.
But it's coming
right.
back. The mustache is coming back.
Well, not
have you
for
seen
me.
it?
No.
But have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've
The
seen
guy
other
that was
people
here
do it.
earlier, Jared, he's got the fucking
Yeah.
mustache going
Oh,
on.
I've seen
I can't
people
do the
that
mustache.
Do it well.
I can't do it.
The mustache that I like that works for me is a small mustache.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny mustache. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
This giant mustache I have to do for the Freddie show,
Not so much.
self-imposed.
Yes,
of course.
Right?
But like I feel
But for the next week,
I
you're
must
just
do
mustache
a Freddie
guy.
mustache. No, for the next week. No, that's not even how it works. How long does it take me to grow a mustache? Well, at least 4 weeks.
Right.
Right.
And so I've got these 2 this week.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one next week. And then I've got one 3 weeks later.
Oh.
That means I'm mustache man for like 2 full months.
Do you not go ahead?
This is my last night of not being mustache man.
Oh,
Like
gosh.
when I walk in to it, like if I decide to go to a bar after this, I'm going to walk into the bar. Everybody's going to just let me pass through and be a normal human being.
Yes.
Walk up to the bar and get a drink.
Right.
Tomorrow night, if I want to go to a bar, I have to walk past everyone with a
Mustache
giant
man.
mustache and the rest of this. A giant mustache and the rest of this.
And the rest of this.
And that's if I put a shirt on. That's if I put a shirt on after the show. If I don't put a shirt on, it's way worse.
I bet.
Way worse. Especially like when I walk into like a Love's truck stop.
Yeah.
You know, at
Yeah.
3 a.m.
And all of a sudden you're getting
And
hit on.
I
You're getting hit on
haven't
all
put the shirt on.
by truckers.
Just walking through like these suspenders are a shirt. No shirt, no shoes, no service. My ass. These work. These are covering the nipples. You got to let me buy gas.
Right. I need to buy some gas.
Yeah, there are certain. I'll tell you, there are certain things you don't want to go hard on. That's one of them. The no shoes, no shirt, no service.
You said hard on.
I did. I was. Thank you. I was gonna pass it by, and the younger me, like
Sorry.
12 minutes younger, would have been like, Randall, you just said hard on. Claim it. Own
Totally.
it.
Yes. No, I'm the child of the
Be
group.
like, that's what she said.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, this is so much fun.
I
So-
assume that nobody has stayed with us for over 3 hours.
We still have 5 or 6 people watching.
What are y'all doing?
Yeah, what the fuck?
The Office is streaming.
The
What?
Office is streaming. Have you watched
3
Ozark
hours
yet?
of this?
Have you watched Ozark? Oh my God. And Julia also says that we have an entire room dedicated to all different kinds of costumes. It's dress up heaven. She says she has a magic closet, and I would love to see her magic closet someday. She lives up by Kansas City.
Well, she, MTV just celebrated 40 year anniversary like last week or the week before.
They did?
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks for 10 years of good music.
Yeah, they got it right for about it.
Julia has an MTV shirt for every day of the week that week.
Yeah.
So she wore an different one, an MTV shirt for every day of the week that they celebrated 40 years.
She's
of
also
it.
GM of School of Rock up there.
Oh,
By
wow.
Kansas City. So
Okay.
she teaches a bunch of kids some rock stuff. So
Nice, Julia.
she says we don't LARP sword fighting, which is funny, but we do have many fake weapons.
Not to be a stickler.
right.
But
It's LARPing, Randall.
but you don't have to have a sword to LARP.
Right.
I can destroy you with a sigh.
Stephen does D&D. He does have some real martial arts
right,
weapons,
all right.
like the Ninja Turtles have.
D&D is kind of coming back.
Yeah, it is.
Dude,
It is.
my brother was just here. My brother was huge in D&D in the 80s, and he is still D&D. He lives in Sweden, and he teaches school children in Sweden. And while he was here this last whole July, his son, Bono, 13 years old, is now freaking playing D&D with his friends because my brother was like, D&D, blah, blah, blah.
It's the shit.
It's Stranger Things is bringing it back.
Yeah.
You know, have you watched Stranger Things?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter will not, like, I can't keep Eddie Munson's name off of walls. I'm just like, hey, now this one's in Sharpie. Like, don't write Eddie Munson's name in Sharpie on the walls. Like,
Here's some chalk.
I'm renting this place. You know?
Here's some chalk.
Yeah. No, Eddie Munson's name is on everything. And then the printer's out of colored ink because of Eddie Munson.
Right.
It's like she's got to have shit like
Holy shit.
printed out like, multiple yeah. She loves the boy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, he's great. He's great. Stop
But
ruining
we're good.
taking all my resources for him.
We've had enough, Eddie Munson.
Yeah. I just have to be able to still live, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I cover up with my Eddie Munson blanket that she's handing me down.
She's handing you down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh gosh,
Because
it's
she
so
got
good.
a new one.
We
No,
have
he
still
really
not
hit.
watched like more than 2 episodes.
Have you
of
not seen Eddie
the
Munson?
first season?
No, I mean I know who Eddie Munson is.
Yes, we
I just-
know, but
I've tried to start it a couple times. I'm not a huge kind of sci-fi guy, but it's getting so big now that I
have
know
to.
I'm going to have to commit to starting it. And
for sure.
I'm kind of in that same vein that you're at with the Office and those other things you're doing. I'm ready to start Stranger Things and start getting through it.
Yeah.
I
we have
to.
like 5 seasons to watch.
I feel like I've seen the first season 3 times.
Right,
And
right.
I haven't gone farther, but she came out crying at when I knew the last season was happening, and I knew the last two episodes maybe
Right.
came out at the same time, and she came out of the room and she was like really down. And I was just like, hey,
Come here, baby. Bring it in. Bring it in.
Eddie Munson's in heaven, I'm sure. Like everything's good. All is good. Spoiler alert. I actually do not know. I don't know at all.
Right.
I don't know. Other than her disposition.
Disposition.
That's how I know anything. And so
Right.
I'm probably wrong. She's confusing.
Very confusing.
Yeah. She's preteen, so
Oh,
so
Oh
don't
my
take
goodness.
don't take this as a spoiler.
right.
Yeah.
Go watch it for yourself.
Yeah. I'm very wrong.
Totally.
Eddie Munson lives.
Eddie Munson lives.
I just know that.
New T-shirt. Eddie Munson lives.
Yeah.
Eddie Munson lives.
Harry Potter lives.
Harry Potter. Wait.
Does Harry Potter die?
Wait. I didn't think he died. Hang
I know,
on.
he lives.
Surely. Yeah.
Okay, now
I
you're-
haven't
No,
seen.
I'm saying-
I haven't seen. I'm
I don't
sorry.
watch Eddie-
I'm sorry, everyone.
I'm
was-
sorry, everyone. I don't watch Harry Potter.
None of your fictional characters have died tonight.
No. No.
I have not.
They're all fine.
No, Harry Potter actually did live. That was a hashtag for a while. Harry Potter lives.
Oh my god.
Because it was the same. It was the same debate anyway.
Right. Holy shit.
Because
Do you watch Ozark?
Oh, I loved Ozark.
Dude.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched it.
Were you happy with the ending?
Yeah.
I was not.
How could we have been?
Right.
Yeah, there's no
I
way.
really
to
feel
end
like it was fine. They closed us out. That's all we could hope for. It was entertaining the whole time through.
The
Yes, it
whole
was.
It was
series was
stressful.
amazing and stressful.
But do you remember Lost?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
See,
There
here's
was
the thing.
no way of doing that either,
No.
and maybe they didn't do as good a. They did not do as good a job as Ozark did.
it. Right.
No, Ozark was better because it kept someone like me entertained because I was gone after 2 episodes of Lost. Two episodes of Lost. I was done. I was like, I really don't even know what's going on right now. Like 2 episodes of Lost. I was done. But Ozark, somehow I was like, and also it was Osage Beach. So,
It was.
like
Yeah.
the Ozarks.
Some of the shots were.
Well, for sure.
Well, the whole story. was
Go on,
Osage
Dan.
Beach.
To explain.
It was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize it.
No. It was
Yeah,
well.
they
It was
talk
filmed
about,
in it was
they
filmed in
talked
Atlanta.
about- it doesn't matter where it's filmed.
But-
the story.
This is every person in Missouri. It doesn't fucking matter where it was,
It was
actually done.
based in Ozarks.
It was Osage Beach.
It was
I knew it was Lake of the Ozarks.
yes.
and Lake of the Ozarks,
Okay.
but
So-
they reference Osage Beach all the time in it.
Yes.
and Camdenton, and all that.
I've literally passed by this conversation a number of times and been in it. Like, it doesn't fucking matter that it was Georgia. Georgia gave them the tax break.
That's right.
They were representing
Absolutely.
Ozark.
And they had real shots with drones because it was cheaper. But
The actual story was Osage Beach.
Lake of the
Okay,
Ozarks.
it was-
Lake of the Ozarks. Osage Beach is Lake of the Ozarks. It's all around it.
You ask them people,
Yeah.
there's 2 different towns.
You have to.
But Lake of the Ozarks has more square footage than the whole west side of the United
True
States,
that.
according to that show.
according to
True that.
Marty. According to Marty.
Or to the Marty. But we also we've worked in Osage Beach.
I've done a ton
Lake
of
the
work up
Ozarks,
there, and
cabinets, and we
I'm
actually
pretty
feel
sure-
like we understand some of the writing.
I'm pretty sure I know some of the people
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
are in the show.
I've only dropped in for like a few shows. Like, that's been my whole experience. Like, play some shows there at Dog Days.
Dog
Days
is
That's what I'm
awesome.
playing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Larry's.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Mm-hmm.
What about
I don't
toads?
know it.
What's a toad thing?
Horny Toads?
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Horny
heard
Toads?
of it, but
that
I've never
place
been
is
there.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Backwater Jacks.
Yeah.
There's some great places up there.
It's crazy, but the whole some of the things of the show. Now, without the meth and all the poppies and all that shit, but we also know some underhanded people who've worked up there. Some builders who have gone to jail. We do cabinets, so we work with
Okay.
builders and blah blah blah. And so there was this one talk in the second season, I think, when they found this house that was sitting there unfinished for months and years. Well, we're still doing cabinets on that house. Like
I know they're talking about that house.
We know
No.
it's right on a big bluff that comes out. It's a huge 2-lot house,
And it's been under construction for 9 years.
for 9 years. And
And
so it's
the
like
reason why it's still under construction is because of me. I haven't got it done.
That's better.
Sorry, Steve. Sorry, Liv.
And that was a side
We're-
plot.
we're working on it.
That was a side plot to one of their seasons.
Yeah.
Was laundering money through this big unfinished house.
Unfinished house.
And I'm like, they've got to be talking about the house I'm
It
working
has
on.
to, because it literally did sat there with like rafters and the tarps blowing
For years.
and the visual that they showed was
Before
not
the guy I'm
actual
working
house.
for bought it.
Yeah.
It sat there for years.
But it sat there for years, and so when we started working on it, it was literally the same idea. And it's like, oh shit, because the guy who wrote Ozark was from St. Louis, and he vacationed his whole life in Lake of the Ozarks, so he knows.
So he's writing about real shit.
Yeah.
Right. And he, of course, fictionalized a bunch of shit. And it was fucking amazing. I'm kind of sad that it ended the way it did, because it leaves us thinking there's going to be more when we know there's not.
Who knows?
Is there not?
There can always be a spin-off.
I hope there is.
See, here's the flip side to that. Jason Bateman has such a successful career, giving us such sarcasm that we can't even hope for elsewhere, that he doesn't need to do another season, and I'll take that as plan B.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
If he's just like throwing out that Jason Bateman comedy,
He's so
Yeah.
fucking
he's
good.
so good.
He's so good.
If he doesn't have time to direct, that's like my heaven.
Yeah.
That's like my second heaven. You know?
You know what I like about... So Wendy, everybody hates Wendy.
Yeah.
And you know she's got to be sitting there going, like, I did my job.
I mean, Laura Linney,
She's fucking amazing.
she is, yeah.
But the thing is when the whole...
She made me turn on Laura Linney.
Yes!
She made me turn on Laura Linney.
When
I was
all
like,
of social media...
Laura, you've made me not like Laura Linney.
That's right.
Yes.
And when
yes.
all of social
Well done.
media does that, she has to sit back and go, I am an actor.
Yeah.
I did my
Actor.
job.
Yeah,
Right?
I can't imagine trying to be real friends with that real person.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you walked up to her right now, you'd be like,
Don't trust
I
you.
don't fucking like you.
How dare you?
I don't
hate
trust you.
You're so mean to your fucking husband, and he's so loyal to
dare
you.
you.
And she's like, I'm Laura Linney.
Dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? Yeah. Guttural, like.
You actually look at her and go, you killed your own fucking
Yeah.
brother.
Wendy.
Like,
And
for
she's like,
real?
my name's Laura.
She's like, I'm Laura.
Not real.
Like, dude, have you not
I
seen
don't believe you.
anything
I don't
else
believe
I've
you.
ever
That's
acted
just
in?
like something you would say, Wendy.
Totally.
Yeah.
You're like, she's like, no. I'm like,
Oh, it was a big fictional gas, was it?
right, was it?
Yes.
No, we
Yeah.
still hate you.
Yeah.
We still hate you, Laura. Wendy. What? Wait, what? Oh my God.
Let's wrap it up.
So yeah, let's
Now,
wrap
baby.
it up. Speaking of wrap it up, Donnie Stevens. Hi, Donnie. He says Jason Bateman has come a long way from Silver Spoons. That's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's one of my favorites right now. So
He
I
is
hope he does
amazing.
something else that's amazing. So
Well,
yes.
Have you listened to Smartless? Have you listened to this podcast?
No.
Oh my God!
Jason
it's
Bateman?
over 100 seasons. It's Jason Bateman. It's Sean Hayes and
Oh,
from Will
gosh.
and Grace
Oh shit.
and Will Arnett.
Yeah, we
Really?
gotta get into that.
Smartless?
Smartless. It's so good.
Yeah, we'll have to check
Done.
that out.
Amazing, and they get the best guests.
We love podcasts.
They
so,
get the
obviously.
best guests.
So yeah. So okay. So let's wrap it up by saying, first and foremost, let's do it again tomorrow night, 8:00. Freddie Mercury tribute at the Riff.
Yes.
Get there early because tables are limited.
Yeah.
And if you want to stand, that's probably cool because you probably won't be wanting to sit anyway.
Yeah.
Just saying. And also,
Warm your voices up.
yeah, warm because you're going to be singing.
You're
your
gonna be
asses
singing.
off.
Don't hurt that shit.
You know,
Right,
you're
right.
going to be singing. What else? Chris's painting. So I'll put that another link. This is probably the last chance we're going to do for Chris's painting for a raffle for awesomeness.
Stop by WF Cody's.
Stop by WF Cody's. You're going to see it. It's right here. I'm going to put it up. Boop, boop. There it is. And you can buy this. You can.
Was it $5 a ticket?
$5 a ticket. Yes. $5 a ticket
She's raffling off to raise money.
to raise money
For herself?
herself because she's taking care of her mama and her kids and she needs a car and all kinds of cool. And here we go
beautiful
again.
thing.
Julia says Bender at Waxy O'Shea Saturday, August 13th, 30 p.m. Let's go, dude.
Let me hear that.
She promotes her show on our show whenever she can. It's Julia Spam. Julia Spam. Julia Spam. Julia Spam.
There it
Love
is, right there. And this guy has been Randall Shreve. You
I'm
are
still.
fucking amazing.
Randall Shreve, man, this has been
This
great.
has been
yes.
so great. I just want to
Thank
hang
y'all
out all
so
night.
much.
I just want to hang out all fucking night.
Let's do it.
All night.
Let's just send them
we'll,
home.
We'll close it off. We'll close it out and we'll just fucking stay here. We got an extra bedroom.
He
We're
needs
good.
his alone time.
Oh, that's right. That's
But
right.
that doesn't have to happen for a long time.
He's got
Y'all are
it. He's
stuck
got
with me.
it. Good. Next week on our show is Noble Bowman. Guys, you might know him from being the general manager of the club at Classic Rock Coffee for a while. He's also a preacher. Would you call him a preacher?
He's lots of things.
He's a business consultant. He's a super cool guy. So Noble Bowman next week right here. Same place, same time. Different
if
atmosphere.
we don't change it.
If we
It
don't
might be
change
someone
it.
else.
Why?
I don't know.
You got some shit in your back pocket I don't know about?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right. So in the meantime, this is Randall Shreve. Go check out his shit. YouTube. Just his name is in the
search him.
thing.
He's
Just search him.
fine.
He's got all kinds of cool YouTube shit. And also, I'm going to do this as I always do. If you want to support the show, there's our shit right there. Send us some money because, it costs money to do this shit. I want to buy one of those things that Jared, by the way, thank you, Jared Isaacs.
Yeah. Shout out to
bringing
the audio
Audio
roast.
Roast podcast. So go check out Audio Roast. They do a show. They do a recorded show every Sunday, but they also do a live show every Sunday as well.
Yeah.
So go check them out. Jared came by and helped us with this little piece of technology that helped us have a better show tonight. So thank you, Jared, for that. So if you want to support us and help us raise money for this little piece of equipment that we want to buy, there's your shit right there. Just send us some money. In the meantime, thank you so much to Randall. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for
so much
coming by,
having
bud.
me. Love
And
it.
thank you all for watching. You guys are amazing. We love you so much. Bye-bye.
How fun.